a bomb squad. Welcome everybody to Ages Esports Hearth of the Huntress League. We are in quarterfinals. I am Hirsch, joined by my friend Dragon. Dragon, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Hirsch. I'm excited to see some LOR gameplay today from some pretty solid teams.
So we know the match already. Why don't you go into these teams right now and explain like how important this match is right now?
Okay, sure thing. So our stream match today is BBBSSS versus Puffcat Peddlers. That is the only time I'll be saying it right today, so get used to it. Anyways, yeah. So for this one, it's about for Team BBBSSS, whatever. This is them wanting to go for the two-peat. They won last season. They want to do it again this season, and it's still funny for the EU team to win the AM tournament, something like that. And then for Puffcat Peddlers, they were not in the league last season, and they want to prove themselves as saying, hey, if we were in the league last season, EU wouldn't have won. It would have been us.
Yeah.
So this is a great time to prove that right.
PCP has been in the league before as well. They just didn't make the cutoff to last season because our signups just completely flooded, and they just missed it by like 2 teams, honestly. But yeah, this time they're back. They're showing that they deserve to win. I'm very excited for these matches today. I don't know how excited you are, Dragon.
I mean, hey, I haven't been playing much LOR, but I was like, oh, sick. I get to cast and talk about LOR and like see some really high level gameplay. Count me in, man.
All right, let's get right on into these decks right now. Starting with Sari's first deck from BBBSSS, we have Jax Varus. Why don't you give us a little insight about this deck?
Yeah, so this deck was like kind of recent. It didn't come out with the patch. It's been discovered in the last few weeks. It like really took off at the open. I believe one of the winning lineups had Jax Varus in it, and so it's just been slowly growing in popularity, and now it's been showing up. And obviously, Broken Ball's team thought that was good enough to bring it out this week. As here, we can find the very strong Cultist package with the really solid Jax weapons package as well. Because like a lot of the cultists care about weapons. Like Lunari Cultist will give you more gems. Shadow Life Fanatic gives you a free unit in hand to put something on for later. You get to play the Broken Card Fish Fight from Jax region. You get a lot of really strong synergies between these two regions. Like they both have very powerful cards that each synergize with each other, because a lot of the cultist things care about you equipping weapons. And since all the blacksmith and Jax units auto-equip, it just turns them on by itself. Like Momentous Choice goes to 1, Violent Discord's doubled, you can have a Furious Wielder target, and just a lot of really strong synergy points have the weapons equipped. And it's just been a really strong mid-range package, because it's like Jax and Varus are both very strong units that can end the game on their own with just one big attack, especially if you get them both on the field at the same time.
Agreed. I also want to point out, I want to give credit where credit is due. This is an Infinity Patrons build. He came to me like a couple weeks ago, and it just he likes to send a lot of his brews to me, and he's like, I got a really cool deck for you. It's Jax Varus, and it just took off. So it's really cool that like I know like people personally that make these decks, and that they're able to revolutionize and like get other people to be on these lists as well. It's just really cool.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been a really solid deck, and we're gonna sit to see how it does today. Whether it's gonna be eating all 3 bans that are gonna be thrown its way, or if it's gonna dominate and play, or it's gonna get dominated. Who knows?
And moving on to Sari's second deck of the night, we have Fissamira. And wait, this is actually not the new Fissamira. This is actually old Fissamira. We're running the Plunder version. We are running Power.
Yeah, off.
We're running Powder Pandemonium. It's just the aggro version, which even after the Powder Pandemonium nerf, like people have decided that they're going to sway off of this a little bit and go for the more budget Fizz TF build of Fizz Samira with running Shelly and just elusives in general.
Yeah, for sure. The elusive package is pretty strong if you can get Shelly online with like Samira on board, but it does take a little bit more time to set up. You're not as aggressive out of the gates. You have a lot more expensive cards, so it's easier to brick a little bit with that deck, because you're you're not really playing as many of the aggressive one drops. Like you're not really playing Butcher and Elegant Edge. You're just playing like one of them at most.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's looking a lot more to get on the field early and just push a lot of burn damage with like early game, like stylish shots with warning shots, and it's like your Fizz or Elegant Edge with Fearsome. Also, it's pretty hard to block the first few turns. And then Powder Pandemonium, even though it's 7 mana now, Powder Pandemonium is still a very strong card, especially if you get like 4 or 5 monkeys from it. That's like just building a board with one card, and that's at least that much damage. Plus, your opponent's going to have to trade down as well. They don't want to be taking all that damage. I mean, the biggest thing about the nerf is you no longer can, like, on turn 7, you can't double Powder Pandemonium. As a matter of fact, you can never double Powder Pandemonium now that it's 7 mana. But if you're not seeing much Ionia decks playing, or like Riot Negation decks, you only need one resolving is just fine, and Powder Pandemonium is a very strong card for closing out the game.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very interested in honestly seeing this deck tonight, because I like I said earlier, I have, like, people have just been kind of leaning off of this deck, so I'm wondering how these nerfs really affected this deck and impacted this deck, but we'll find that out tonight.
I think we're definitely going to see that in the matches today.
Moving on to Sari's third deck, we have for you Kennen Jinx Returno Wrench.
Yeah,
this has been one of my favorite decks of this meta right now. Even, like, I've been playing both versions of this deck, the Kennen version and the Mono Jinx version, and it just plays exactly like old Lulu Jinx. We have Arena Promoter in there just to get us extra mech Yordles, basically just getting on the board fast, getting big mech Yordles just to be able to push extra impact damage and just go wide and push through the board fast. But one of the things that I'm seeing in this deck that I haven't seen anybody teched in is Augmented Experimenter.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's been showing up in decks. He is only a one of, so you don't have to worry about those awkward hand states where you just like draw like all 3 of your experimenters and you're like, well, I guess I'm just discarding the other 2. But, you know, Augmented Experimenter can be a really nice refill later portion of the game. His effect is still very strong, because dealing 3 to something and giving yourself 3 new cards is still a really good effect for these discard strategies that want to like be putting their hand onto the table early. And plus, you can, like, there's like a wrench in your hand or a jury rig or some flame chompers. You can like discard them for free onto the battlefield with the Augmented Experimenter all in one action. So it can be pretty strong. Plus, it also levels Jinx as well. So then it's like, if you have both of them out, it's bit of a fork for your opponent there. But he hasn't been seeing as much play because he is 6 mana and this deck is very low and aggressive. Like, this deck can kill you before the turn 6 matters ever. And to be fair, it's still very much set up to do that. It's got 7 1-drops, or it's got 10 1-drops, my bad. It's got the triple urchin, triple squire, 2 birds, and 2 cannons. It's got boom boons to get the flame chompers, so you can drag stuff out of the way. It's got the squeakers to find some mecha Yordles. Arena Promoter can help you get the discounted ones, and then it's got a lot of burn over the top. So yeah, with triple blowback, triple mystic, and triple electro harpoon, this deck can put you out of your misery. Even if you're at a decent life total, it can quickly whittle that down with just spells outside of combat.
For sure. And moving on to the other side, we have Real Prism Sword with PCP with his deck of Echo Jinx. It's something that's been popping up a lot lately, along with the Kennen Jinx version. Basically, just getting on the board, getting as many predicts as possible, trying to get your Echo on curve to be able to create your Chrono Breaks in deck, and just basically swarming the board, searching for the Chrono Break, and just being able to wipe your whole board and making it come back.
Yeah, for sure. This Echo Jinx can have some very, very explosive turns. I will say it has a lot of 4-drops in the deck right now. It's got 12 units and then 2 rare negations, so can get some clunky hands if you draw too many of them that aren't Echo. Like, you get like a Jinx and 2 Voice of the Risen. It's a bit awkward, but you have a lot of predicts in the deck that are very cheap. You have a lot of other cards, like you have a Like you have your Mystic Shots for burn, lethal, and removal. You have Scrying Sands and Feral Prescience to help set up your draws and get your Echo progress. So even though there's a possibility to brick, it's very difficult to, since you're almost always picking your draws, thanks to the power of Predict. And if you can get Echo online, you can just completely run over the game with card advantage and put your opponent in extremely awkward spots. And I'm looking at this deck against what he's going to be facing with Sari. Sari doesn't have a lot of removal in his decks that can deal with Echo when he's at 3 HP.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kennen Jinx only has Experimenters to do it in one card. Fizz Samira can't do it at all.
No, blowback as well.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah, blowback. Oh, it's true. That's right. Blowback and Experimenter. Fizz Samira, I guess you can do. Your one of Fervor, or like throw a Samira and hope they don't have Scrying Sands, stuff like that.
Just to reiterate what you said, even though it is hard to brick, last week we saw this deck brick a couple times, and when it breaks hard, man.
Yes, it does. Yeah, so that's always a bit of a risk with this deck, but if Prism Sword gets a pretty decent starting hand, he should be fine.
Moving on to Prism Sword's second deck. Oh, I don't know what I'm looking at here.
This looks like a pretty standard Seraphine deck,
But it's Malphite Bar.
Yeah, dude, Malphite, dude, Malphite is just the best champion in the game at 7 mana right now. Because he's better than Galio, and that's the only other 7 mana champion in the game. Oh no, sorry. There's also Scion, but Scion's also been in the gutter for a while. So yeah, Malphite is the premium 7 cost champion. And to be fair, Malphite actually does work decently well with this deck, because Back Alley Bar, if you play 2 of them, you actually level Malphite, which is really funny. And Malphite is also just a brick wall. Like, as 7 mana, he comes down, stuns a unit, and then he's a 6/10 that your opponent is like can't really punch through. On top of that, so you see a lot of spells, mostly one-ofs. As a matter of fact, every single spell is a one-of. Now I'm looking at it a little more closely. There's also 2 off screen, which are Celestial Impact and Sputtering Song Spinner. It's just there's so many we can't fit them all on screen.
Yeah, that's what we get when we play a lot of Seraphine, even when you're on Runeterra AR. By the way, thank you to Runeterra AR for sponsoring or for bringing us these amazing deck graphics. If you ever see a deck that you're interested in, there's a QR code in the bottom left corner of the screen that you can scan, and it will just import the deck code for you into your client. But yeah, even on Runeterra AR, if you just pull this up, you're still just like scrolling down for the list.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen this deck at all get played. I've heard people are being on it. Just like in my head and on paper, it sounds bad, but I'm still interested in seeing this and just like seeing it in action, because like I said, I haven't seen this deck been played at all. So maybe I'm completely wrong.
I mean, Seraphine Bar can only be so bad. Plus, you have a lot of stall with this deck. You have the Cosmic Younglings can help you heal up the early game aggression. You have the other Targon healing cards like Guiding Touch and Star Shaping. So you do have ways to get your HP back in the main deck, which is quite good for Seraphine, because one of the things that she can struggle with is early aggression. So having access to a little bit of healing can be good. Plus, there's quite a few really good Targon spells that you can get, and then you also have the win conditions through invoking as well. Like you have Star Shaping to get you a high level or a high cost unit. You have Moondreaper can get you something. Targon Tellstones, if you go for Behold the Infinite, you can get stuff as well.
We have Pursuit of Perfection as well on top of that.
Pursuit of Perfection as our one on Pursuit of Perfection, so we can say we're gonna end the game now.
And moving on to Real Prism Sword's final deck, we have Karma Set. Why don't you take us through this deck, Dragon?
Yeah, so Karma Set's been fallen off a little bit ever since the coin nerf to focus speed. Because now you can't just drop your champion, and then even if they go to kill it immediately, you could just say, okay, I'm going to place your bets in response, coin, get all of my mana back, and now I just drop another champion again, and we start over. Because now that the coin nerf is happening, if you actually remove the champion, they have to like deny on the stack, or they have to like play their units or like play their spells, but they won't be able to play their coins to get their mana back. So you could try to deny that a little bit. Like being forced to proactively coin does hurt this deck's defensive capability a bit. That being said, it's still, a lot of the pieces and interactions and things like that are still intact for the deck. You have Smooth Exologist, it's a really solid 4-drop to heal your Nexus, generate you some coins, and block some early pressure and block pressure. You have Mystic Shots, High Notes, and Aftershocks for good removal from P and Z. You have Caustic Rifts to deal with the go wide boards. You have Hexsplitterator to deal with the bigger threats. And you have like place your bets and formulas to draw through your deck. That being said, I would say this deck has probably a bit more emphasis on the units than most Karma set lists I've seen in the past have. Like we're playing Double Forge Chief and Pharos. We're playing triple Pit Professional as well. I don't usually see that as a 3 of.
Yeah.
And on top of also playing Pharos, so I think that's pretty interesting. We're also not on triple Palm, which I think could matter a bit in like the Jax Pharos matchup, not having access to as many of those. But I mean, we still have Tag Out as well. So we have plenty of effects to like take care of a unit, but we'll have to see if that's going to matter too much. I think this deck is still really strong, has plenty of stall, and Karma set, you get to turn 10, it's still very difficult to beat the value they generate.
Yeah, for sure. And now it's time to move on to one of my favorite things of the night. It's time for predictions, Dragon. Let's see what everybody predicted this week. And we're pretty much split down the middle right now. Red and I are the only believers of PCP. We're even split straight down the middle. Even on the Twitch poll, it was a 50-50 for BBBSSS and PCP as well. I only chose BBBSS because they were first, and that was the last vote I saw get put in. But we're pretty much split down the middle here. Me and Red, we're still America's believers. EU is not allowed to win another Aegis.
I mean, hey, if PCP proves me wrong, I'll be super happy. But also, yeah. I think I made this prediction before I realized that Bajatak is actually not in for BBBSSS today, and I think he's one of their strongest players. So we'll have to see if that's going to impact things today for their performance.
I think honestly, Simon's their strongest player. Like we saw last season, Simon just completely dominated the entirety of playoffs, either reverse sweeping or just going straight 3-0. It's like we were joking about Simon being the entirety of the team, but it actually was Simon being the entirety of the team.
Baja was doing good this season, so we'll have to see how that's going to turn out. But Sari is also a really strong player, and we're going to see how he's going to hold up for BBBSSS. And it looks like we're going into picks and bans here as we have the screen up here.
Yeah. What do we think is going to be banned on both sides right now, Dragon?
I think for Prism Sword, I think you definitely vote Fizz Samira because you have doubled the 2 deny decks, and then Seraphine has some healing to try and keep topped off, so you can have pretty good answers to the Powder Pandemonium win condition. And I think you probably are taking out Jinx Cannon just because it's the most explosive of these decks. Hard to say though. I haven't really seen her played too much Jax Pharos, so it could just be that. What do you think, Hirsch?
I think honestly Jax Pharos is going to be taken off the table because that's the only mid-rangey deck here. And when Jax Pharos is able to pop off, it pops off. But like we're running a very solid lineup into Fizz Samira and Jinx Cannon. So yeah. like all three of our decks are very solid into these decks.
Yeah, I would say like if we want to protect, I think Jax Pharos makes the most sense considering that. I think like your Echo Jinx might struggle a little bit into Jinx Cannon because you have problems dealing with the Jinx itself, so that could run away with the game. But you also have a lot of strong cards in your deck that can take over the game. And you know what? Jinx Varus Jax was the ban, and on the other side, Echo Jinx was the ban. Oh wow. I would have predicted Bar, honestly, but looks like we have Echo Jinx eating the ban from Sorry. So Prism Sword will not have that, so he'll be playing Bar and Karma Set against Fizz Samira and Jinx Cannon. Who do you think is favored in this position, Hirsch?
Honestly, probably Prism Sword right now, because like with leaving up an Ionia deck into Fizz Samira, especially when we're playing the Powder Pandemonium version, if you slam literally Powder Pandemonium on turn 7 or later, that's good. And Prism Sword has an eye in hand. That's going to be a massive turn for Prism Sword. That's going to be like game turning right there.
I will say Prism is only on 2 denies, so if you draw all 3 Powder Pandemoniums, the third one will go through. But I mean, it's also a possibility that because we're only running 2 denies, we might not find it in time to stop the Powder Pandemonium, because it can come down like as early as like turn 5 or 6, even at 7 mana still.
Well, another thing to point out is we only need 2 denies because Karma is just going to generate us a third.
True. You know, why didn't I think of that, Hirsch?
We're just waiting for the players to get into game right now.
Yep. Oh, and it looks like we're in game. All right. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think Prism Sword wants those late game cards against Jinx Echo, or sorry, not Jinx Echo, Jinx Cannon. That'd be Jinx Cannon in the bar. And I think this is a much better hand. We have a 1-drop to block their 1-drop. Caitlyn is difficult to answer efficiently in their deck. Sunburst can kill the first big Mecha Yordle or Jinx. Drum Soul is a bit awkward with this hand because you're not really going to be able to get it flowed out until later in the game, but later in the game it's going to give you some good card draw.
I'm very surprised. Actually, I'm not really surprised that we ended up just with Sorry's mulligan. I actually do agree with this mulligan a lot.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like I don't think you need 2 discard units, and I mean, Yordle Squire in that is very good. Ooh, this is a ton. This could be a Timeliner angle. This could be Squeaker. Both of them have their merits.
It's got to be a Squeaker angle because Timewinder is not really that necessary into this matchup. Like, we're only running a few X1s.
Yeah, and I think, this turns out to be much better because now we have a really good turn 3 play. We still get to push 2 damage. Oh, we're actually going to play the Jury Rig to block here.
That makes sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, we don't have any discard. We don't have that much units to discard, so I think I'm fine just like getting that on line.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play Caitlyn, but unfortunately that's gonna be punished really hard by this smash and dash here. So yeah, Prism Sword can't even make the attack here, unfortunately for him. So he can't even shuffle in those flash bombs. Ooh, and then we get Wrench off the top. So now we have that engine going for our discard. Youngling's a pretty good draw.
Yeah, now also just hitting it on the Zonite Urchin is just absolutely massive right now. And also getting this Caitlyn off the board, it's going to have a chance to hit this Smash and Dash as well.
I mean,
we're just going to straight up trade it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or we could just pale and then there's no reason to worry about it. And now I'm gonna guess Sorry's probably gonna let this resolve, and then he's gonna Mystic Shot the Cosmic Youngling, so that's gonna be off the field. Well, I mean, Sorry is left with no board, which I mean it's pretty decent for Prism. And then Prism next turn can play a Moon Dreamer. I'm gonna guess that's gonna be the play.
Sorry is in a very rough spot right now. He has absolutely no units in hand. He was forced to burn a Mystic Shot just to take off that Cosmic Youngling to prevent furthermore healing. The Zonite Urchin is going to be able to get us, or hopefully get us something here with discarding this Wrench now.
Yep. And
we get a bird for Jinx.
Not bad. I think Prism's probably passing again because he wants to Sunburst Jinx if they play it. Oh, he's gonna say there's not gonna. I guess now like Jinx can't flip right now, so you have an extra turn to deal with her. Ooh, is this a Charger or Serpent?
I'm honestly kind of fond of taking Written in the stars here, because if we get a 2/2 or a +2/+2 Seraphine, that's going to be pretty big.
Yeah, true. I was also thinking like maybe we could take Serpent, get this Zonite Urchin off the board, or like be able to use it to threaten something else. But
well, Prism Sword's going to get a really big read here that Sari's kind of bricked up at the moment right now. Because once he plays his bird, once Bird comes down and he hands another pass back, Sari's not going to be able to play anything.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a really big read here. It depends on if Prism Sword has really caught up on that read yet. I don't see a reason that he would catch onto that read yet. So this is going to be a real gamble for him.
I mean, the other play is we could just play Jinx because there's only 1 mana left, so Jinx is pretty much not able to be killed right now. And then we could try to flip, and we have the ability to flip her next turn with this Rummage and Time Winder in our hand and still rocket. So plenty of lines for Sari to go for here. I'll have to see which one he wants to take.
I don't know if we want like if we play this Jinx and we discard our whole hand the way it's looking right now. I don't know if that's something we really want to do.
Yeah. Prism Sword also took Charger, so that means we have we do a good thing at Time Winder besides this 3/6. I mean, this 3/6 is going to just like take over is like not going to be killable.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably not dying this game unless we like Jinx, Rocket, and then swing with Jinx.
Yeah, and with us picking up the Charger now, this Time Winder is actually going to start to get value.
Yeah. Oh,
and the boon hits the Jinx too.
I don't actually think it's that good for the boon to hit Jinx. I think because Jinx is like getting like either sunbursted or celestial impacted.
So it all depends here. Like I think Sari's obviously going to lead with Baboon here first.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the waters. It's like if Prism Sword is going to respect this possible Jinx coming down this late in the game right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got also like Rummage here and try to push the damage. Yeah, now you just Time Winder here. I think this looks like a really good Time Winder angle.
Yeah, this is a really good Time Winder angle, and that's going to be allowing us to flip this Jinx off the top right now. But it's still going to get met with a Celestial Impact here.
Ooh, I don't like this. I would hit the Nexus, I would think, instead. Push the most damage.
Hitting 1 damage to the Nexus at this point in the game right now, like it's turn 6 if we've only pushed 3 damage, we're kind of in a rough spot. So getting that 1 extra damage in there doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, I mean, so we have. If we play Jinx, he's probably going to get Celestial impacted. But if we just take his attack here, then they just double stun and we only push 2 damage. Both of these options are not great for Sari.
Yeah, he's in a really rough spot right now.
Yeah. Plus, if you want, I will say, if you go for the double stun line, then you're able to play Jinx, and then you're able to flip her by playing either Blowback or Rummage, depending on if you think you want more cards or if you think you want to push more damage.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So here, I do like this Respect Pass just because we're able to hold up Celestial Impact, because we want to try to get as much value out of Sunburst with Daybreak as possible here, just to avoid any shenanigans that may arise. But we are going to be taking a pretty decent amount of damage here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're just deciding he wants to deal. Okay, so you're just gonna do 3 damage here.
Yeah, I like playing some fumes here.
Also, this makes it a bit more awkward to flip this Jinx now in our hand, because now we're gonna have 1 card too many to flip her next turn with just a Rummage in 1 action.
Yes, that is correct.
Which means that if we just like first action a Celestial Impact onto this Jinx, Sari can't really flip her in response.
Yes. Unless we top deck a second Rummage here, which would be really interesting.
I mean, to be fair, you're gonna be able to, if you assume you're gonna use Rummage to try and flip Jinx, you can just a decent chance of doing that.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, could you Rummage into Blowback as well? Ooh,
Oh,
we're not playing Jinx. We're just gonna. Oh, so sorry. What says I want to make sure if I play Jinx, she flips.
I possess the secrets of King.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So he's just gonna say might as well get my unit out first.
Yeah, Prism Sword's just like he's loving this board state right now. He's basically saying, "Look, man, play your Jinx now, so I can just get it off the board."
Oh, doesn't. I mean, oh, he's gonna feel a bit bad about not having the wrench in hand when he gets the parts made whole.
Yeah, Sari's in a really tough spot right now, and Jinx comes down. Yes, Jinx will be able to flip, but we have I'm like losing my mind. We have Sunburst in hand.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. I think Sunburst is better here because now we also get to follow up with double stun.
Agreed.
I will say I think Sari passing last year actually was correct because like we developed the unit and they didn't spend any, and they didn't do anything on the board, so you're still going wider.
Yeah.
I'll give you to the
But having to toss his blowback just feels really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, sorry, he's not taking another Jinx, but it's still.
We forgot about the flash bombs. I mean,
Wait,
second Jinx might be decent though because now second Jinx can't be killed immediately.
Yes,
so
Sari's able to play second Jinx right now and be able to still play Rocket just to get that extra 2 card draw now.
Yeah. And also, I will say what Prism's gonna do here is he's just gonna double stun on Bird and Jinx, then kill Cannon probably, and then so he doesn't worry about that. And then next turn he just like opens, immediately kills Jinx with Celestial Impact. So he's not taking any damage here from the Jinx. It's from the units in play. But there is gonna be a double draw from Jinx. There's gonna be 3 damage from this Rocket, probably another 2 damage from the Electro Harpoon. And if they can get another Rocket, that could be pretty bad. I will say we won't have an option to play the Electro Harpoon before Jinx dies.
See, I think I would have liked to see Bird get taken out, because if we just third Jinx.
Oh, that's so brutal for Prism Sword. Now, that's so tragic for him. Because now what's gonna happen? He's just gonna play Jinx, play Electro Harpoon. To take out, there's gonna be no units left in play. Yeah, so he's gonna do this just to make sure, like if they play Jinx, you can't get silence or something like that to stop the Rocket.
Yeah. Sorry, literally, like in my mind, I didn't speak this into existence because caster cursing, but sorry, literally, in order to pull this out, he literally had to find those 2 Jinxes in order to pull something out right now.
Yeah, he just, it turns out this deck is really good when you draw all 3 Jinxes. Ooh, so Prism Sword goes for the silence here. I really like that because now you can't get the second Rocket this turn.
Yeah.
So sorry, he's gonna probably be kicking himself a little bit that he didn't go for the Electro Harpoon first. Although Prism Sword doesn't have a way to answer. Oh wow, and he top decks an answer to this Jinx right now.
Oh my, these players are literally playing off on top decks right now, and it's just absolutely
there's no more Jinxes left in the deck either. So once this Jinx dies, that's it. There's no more.
I think
Sari cannot level this Jinx in response either. So he's not gonna get the Rocket. He will have Electro Harpoon. You will have parts made whole. You're probably gonna have parts made whole and draw some cards. You have 2 Electro Harpoons for burn, but there's also a Star Shaping in hand as well for Prism Sword.
Yeah, we definitely have the parts made whole here. We have to play for the mech hero.
Such a good draw. Wow, he got such good draws. He might just be winning the game right now, depending on what these draws are.
Dune Hopper Mech and Earthshaker are ways out right at this point right now.
So the only problem with those 2 is you can't play them this turn.
But we're going for Bouncer instead?
Yeah, I mean he's doing this because he can play all of these cards this turn. Oh wow, Prism Sword's in a horrible position though right now because he just like dies to the burn next turn.
So we have Star Shaping in hand. We're up to 18. We're pushing 6, 8, 10, 12. We're pushing 14 right now.
We will
Pushing 14 right now, and with double of Ultra Harpoon in hand. Oh, we need his discards.
We're tossing him.
Oh, but he got Mystic Shot. That's actually huge. He got Mystic Shot and Aftershock.
I actually like playing the Aftershock over the Mystic Shot right now.
Yeah.
So
That
now,
saves you 4 damage.
now we're only pushing 10. But
Yeah.
still, we
But
still have
now
lethal in
now
hand.
your opponent's at 3 instead of being at, yeah, because you have the 1 burn from the equipment and you have double things in it.
And Caitlyn's not what you want to see here.
No, yeah, like Sorry just has lethal next turn unless, because that was also Prism's only star shaping that he tossed for that rummage, so he doesn't have that out. He only has a single guiding touch left as his out.
I like the respect of not tossing rummage right now, just because to give away, like if you toss that rummage, you're giving your opponent the idea that, hey, he tossed a draw spell, he has lethal in hand.
I mean, yeah, no, Prism's not getting out of this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think what Prism had to do there was star shaping and look for the 8 cost Celestial there that will obliterate everything with 3 or less power to just wipe out Sari's board in one go, and then hope he didn't have the burn.
Mm-hmm.
I think that rummage is like, sure, you got the you did actually top deck the removal spells, but like if you didn't get any removal spells, like you got like double bar, you were just straight up dead there. Whereas,
Yeah.
I think he was supposed to go for the star shaping angle there and hopefully just
I think so too. Like if you go for star shaping there and hit sisters, you're in a much more comfortable spot.
Yeah, like you hit star shaping, like you hit sisters, no, star shaping can't hit sisters. It can hit the 8 cost that can obliterate everything. I think that's probably your best hit there, because obviously the other ones wouldn't help you at all. Like 1 unit isn't going to save you.
Yeah.
All right, and here we're going to go right into game 2 here. We have Samira Fizz already off to a nice turn 1 decimate. But the Cosmic Youngling is coming in. And what there is an all out.
So we are going to be able to kill this. If we just bake right now, we're able to kill this. Actually, we don't even have to bake. We could just play Samira right now and just be able to kill this Cosmic Young on the spot next turn.
Yeah. The only issue with that though is you can't use it to hit the Nexus, and we also can't Barb Chain if we want to do that.
I don't think we want to Barb Chain this early, because if we Barb Chain pretty early, we're running the risk of tossing our Powder Pandemoniums for later on.
Yeah.
Some thinks I'm all sparkle, huh?
Ooh, Hush is pretty nice. Actually, Hush could be a bit of a blowout here, honestly.
Yeah, Hush could be a blowout here.
Whoa, you
Yeah, because like, obvious. Because then you all out here to kill the Seraphine, but then we Hush, and then not only do you see Seraphine get to live, but you also stop the flare from being generated, and without the flare, you're not getting to trigger these with plunder.
Yeah, all these Targon players thinking that Hush got buffed. It's like, oh yeah, Telstone's got buffed, but all the Samira players are like, or all the Seraphine players are like, oh man, I can generate Hush off of Seraphine now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's so good for Prism Sword now. It's now like Seraphine's also only at 1 HP. So she's in the attack. Silent Shot is pretty good off the top, but I don't know if you can afford to play it this turn to proc a plunder.
No,
I think you're just waiting till next turn.
Yeah, we're just banking this turn.
Yeah, I think you like. I mean, Prism might be scared of Samira flip here. But on it, there's 3 cards in hand. It's like he's probably gonna have to eat his entire hand. Yeah, I think you just like kill the fearsome you're not able to block.
I honestly, actually, yeah, I'm okay with that. But ripping the Barb Chain just raw right now is just, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, there's nothing else to do this turn, and Sari's kind of desperate, but it might come and bite him in the butt.
Oh, it does not. I think he's really happy with that.
Yeah, he's actually really happy with that. And
however,
top decking another.
Sword's also very happy to top deck this Dustbringer, because that lets him block the fearsome with a Pale Cascade. So now he's not taking damage this turn from that. And then you can like Samira can't really. Yeah, so this attack tells you that they don't have all out, most likely. Because now I think you're just gonna pale, kill their 3-2, put Youngling in front of the 3-3, and call it a day.
And the thing that's really rough is that
we're gonna
not getting...
actually trade away Seraphine. Interesting.
Well, yeah, we like.
I mean, I can understand why we have second Seraphine in hand. We might want to just get another card.
That's true. That is
But
true.
I would imagine that the I know would be important enough that we'd want it. Also, I actually think we were supposed to.
He's thinking about ripping the high note here.
Oh, is he gonna block and then high note and kill? I mean, I think you're killing Samira still over killing Butcher, because like, if you go to kill Butcher and they play all out, you feel kind of bad.
I don't think we've played enough spells that all out is. All outs are not all out. I'm sorry, high note's not even activated yet, so we're just trading our second Seraphine away.
Yeah, so we don't have any more Seraphines left. We do have Bar, and we do have a Time Trick, but like, also, Sari does not get back that
the stylish shot.
Yeah, he doesn't get the stylish shot back. That's good for Prism, but he does have enough mana banked. If he finds a Patter Pandemonium off the top, he can get it.
All right, I think.
Not by a long shot.
I mean, I think it's fine to rip this stylish shot. You're getting so much value from the.
Yes, you are, but is it correct though? That's the real question.
I think it is, because the idea is like you stylish shot, play Father Fury, look for a spell so you can flip Samira. They have removal on the stack.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out this Cosmic Youngling putting in some work. Has been healed 4 HP so far for Prism Sword. That's definitely mattered.
Yeah. Me in Sari's position, like every time I see a Cosmic Youngling just hop on the board, I'm just mauling. I absolutely hate Cosmic Youngling. I think it is an overtuned card. And if it were a 2-mana 1/3 or a 3-mana 1/4, I would be okay with that. But a 2-mana 1/4 is just not okay.
Oh, we're just not even triggering Plunger. Okay.
I would have liked to rip Fizz first, honestly, just to see what Prism Sword would have done in response.
Yeah. I mean, I think you rip Fizz, you play Fizz now.
Yeah.
I think if you are, if you're Prism, you're really sad to see this.
No, I think you're fine to see this, because like we're transitioning into a late game where we're gonna be able to play our Bar next turn. I think we're pretty happy about this.
Oh, we found another Hush. And we found a high note. And we found a Sputtering. Oh, these are all pretty good choices, honestly.
We have to take the Hush here, I think, because if we just take the Hush here and we Hush Fizz on the attack token, we're blowing out right now.
Yeah, for sure. So now the question is, does Sari want to flip Samira?
I mean, our only option is to play Barb Chain here. How many times? We've only plundered, what, 4 times?
We're at 3 plunders, I believe. So we're at 4.
Yeah, we had two. We had 2 Elegant Edges. We had Butcher, and we had 1 Barb Chain.
No, none of the Barb.
We're at 5 because of All Out 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. So I mean, you don't really need any more plunders, honestly. I think like 5 is the most you really need, because you're very rarely casting it Powder Pandemonium on an completely empty board.
Oh, so we are going for the Samira flip just into Father Fury to see if we can generate a spell that can actually help us out here.
Yeah, but like, I mean, yeah, no, we can just play Father Fury and Barb Chain now. Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, I was just thinking Noxie and Tellstones, but if we cast the 6-mana spell here, I think that's kind of huge for us. We cast a 6-mana spell on the Caitlyn. It allows us to get more of a board presence and hitting the pirouette too.
I was gonna say, I don't think we need to cast that card anymore. Although sputtering off the top for Prism Sword is massive, because now we can play that and then still have the mana to hush if he needs to.
I think we're gonna. No, I think we're wanting to bar here just so we can get the back alley barkeep as a blocker as well. That way we're still keeping hush mana up as well. Oh, we're just going for the Malphite to stun the Father Fury.
I mean, Malphite also just completely bricks the ground attackers. Like, Samira can't swing through, she dies, and then they only swing with Fizz, we just hush. So it's like actually really good for Sari.
Yeah.
Or sorry, really bad for Sari.
It depends on the way you see it. It might be good, it might be bad, who knows?
Yeah. Because like now you don't want to attack with Samira because she just dies to the Malphite. So you just attack with Fizz, but now Fizz gets hushed and he dies. You're playing another 4-mana Barb Chain, which is never fun. And you also have 3 units on board, so your Pattern Pandemonium isn't even that great now either. Like 3 monkeys is not a lot of burn damage.
Yeah, sorry not being able to take this Cosmic Youngling off the board early is really coming back at him right now because he's not able to get any damage through now.
Yeah. And like Prism Story gets a pretty free bar next turn.
Yeah.
Well, I would probably Pattern Pandemonium has got a little bit better, but it's fleeting, so you have to play it this turn.
We see Bar come down.
Sump map. Oh, that's so brutal for Sorry, because now Fizz can never get through. I'm gonna guess. Oh, we're gonna save it as a combat trick. That makes some sense. I mean, you have to play Fizz here. The question is, like, do you overwrite a monkey or do you overwrite your 3/2?
I like that a lot.
Also, personally, I would have swung with Caitlyn because you get the flash bombs in deck, and that might be irrelevant. Although Sari is out of Barbed Chain, he is out of card draw.
So this is a really awkward spot now. Like I think this is the end of like
Sari wouldn't rally here. I would say Sari wouldn't rally here, would he?
Like this is a really tough spot for Sari. Now that like Sari has nothing in hand to be able to really do anything this turn.
Yeah.
Like Weapons of the Lost does nothing for us anymore.
He's probably going Sharpen Resolve, try and push damage through with Fizz.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be so sad when he sees the Sumpworks map come in, probably on the Malphite.
Elusive Malphite.
Yeah. And then we just, yep. All Out doesn't even kill it either. All right, what do we get? We have, Gruesome Theater. Naked Rain, and Behold
the Infinite. Oh man, dude.
Yeah, you can like Gruesome Theater now and just like recall your back alley barkeep. So now they can't even get the flare from Samira. Yeah, and they just get more cards in hand. And it's also still reduced because you didn't actually play a card named Back Alley Barkeeper.
And we also get another card. We get 2 cards generated off a Barkeeper now.
Yeah, we haven't even triggered Plunder this turn, so we can't even get a second monkey to block with next turn.
Oh man, honestly, this is just.
And we still have the Youngling just ticking up our life total. This is not looking great for Sari here.
Yeah, no. This Malphite is just being a massive brick wall. Another Powder
second Powder Pandemonium is good.
It's not going to do anything though.
That pushes 5 damage, and we can try to do something with that. Actually, it pushes more damage now that Samira is going to die. Because then we get to like play that. Get all of our units. Back at like Barkeep. Oh, we got Catch, and I can't see what that other card is. This hand is too full.
I think that's a Sultan. Or a Sultan.
You know what? Yeah, I can see it.
I think that's Sultan.
I think it is as well. I mean, honestly, do you just like fire a removal spell at the Samira right now?
Yeah, it's 100% Sultan.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're looking for Oh, right.
Destroyer just. Oh, we're going for dog.
Oh, we're going wide here.
We're going people wide. And we hit Piltover Tellstones as well.
Yep.
So.
I mean, we're saying this. If Sorry top decks a third Powder Pandemonium, he does just win next turn.
No, he doesn't.
No, he does. I don't think Prism Sword can serve.
Because what Prism Sword can do is in response he can whatchamacallit, he can Sunburst on the monkeys.
He can. Also, since he didn't go for Powder Pandemonium last turn, he can't do it now. Fizz is oh, you know, Sorry got his directive to draw his champions. I believe that's a third Fizz.
That is third Fizz.
Staring at that elusive Malphite doesn't look that good. And I mean, you could Powder Pandemonium right now.
I mean, hey, we can take Malphite off the board if we want to.
True. I mean, technically speaking, we can, but like, if you play the other Samira from your hand, it just immediately gets killed by one of the 4 cards in their hand that can kill it.
Yeah.
I mean, now I think Sorry's just completely dead now. He can't really win from here.
I think Sorry's just going through the motions right now, just figuring out like he's. I feel like he's checking out of this game and just prepping for next game at this point, like figuring out how he's going to navigate next matchup and stalling for time right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Prism Sword's going to kill the Samira. Oh, he's gonna make another youngling.
Oh no!
Oh, that's really funny.
Oh man, this is toxic.
Oh, that's so funny.
Another funny thing is we have the ability to flip Malphite next turn.
We have the ability to flip Malphite right now.
But our hand's too full to actually do it right now.
I mean, no, we can do it. It cares about the landmark, not the unit.
No, I know, but our hand is too full. We'll burn cards.
No, we won't. We won't make the card because we don't have any board space, so we won't summon back late Barkeep.
And
so
sorry.
we could have. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think if any line person took there was going to result in him winning that game. I don't really think Sorry had an out there at that point. Like, he didn't have enough cards left in his hand. He didn't have enough damage to push, and like the elusive Malphite just completely shut down any chance he had.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, it's 1-1 now, so we're gonna have to see what the last fight's gonna be. It's gonna be Karma's set versus the
Samira Fizz again.
Yeah. Ooh.
So Sorry kicks Samira in an all out, and we're honestly we're keeping both Samiras, and we redraw the all out.
Oh, there's an Aftershock in Prism's hand. This Samira is never living, dude.
Oh man, we have Aftershock, we have High Note. This Samira is not going anywhere, man.
No. What's gonna happen is either Sorry's gonna pass, and then next turn play Samira, play Elegant Edge from the Flare when she gets murdered by High Note.
Like honestly, this is an uphill battle for Sorry. Like, Prism Sword has the advantage here, I feel like.
All right, I mean, if Prism Sword doesn't go Aftershock here, he does. All right, so he does get blown out here by this all out. What's gonna happen here is gonna go High Note. There's gonna be an all out, and now we still get the thing back, and we push 5 damage. So this is really good for Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say Sorry's now down to 3 cards in hand. However, he has another all out. He gets back. He gets that card back, and there's no units for Prism to play this turn. Although, with the Mystic Shot pickup, he's gonna be able to kill a lot of things.
Oh man.
Take the shot or lose the chance.
double Mystic Shot right now.
I mean, I think I honestly like Palm the best out of these options.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
So Sari has to decide if he wants to either keep the Samira alive or just play second Samira in hand, but
I mean, you can even go with like play Flare, play Father Fury, or like, yeah.
yeah, Flare Father Fury is a pretty good move right now.
Especially, I will say, oh no, Flare second Samira. Okay.
Oh, sorry, man.
Oh, I mean, this is not great for Sari because now he's not gonna have any units left, but he's gonna probably be able to chain if he wants. Honestly, I don't even think he needs to chain this turn. I think he can wait till next turn after he plays Father Fury.
I think so too.
I will say, Prism was respecting All Out there by
He was.
using Aftershock, because now he can beat All Out still with another High Note or Mystic Shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he uses that card though. He's not getting that one back. He is not going to get that Stylish Shot back. As
Yeah, no.
It's going to fall. But I mean, I think he's still in a good position. Like, Prism's down to 12. Prism does not have the 9 in hand. So a Powder Pandemonium cannot be stopped. There's a Fizz. That's really hard for him to answer.
It's not. We have Augmented Clockling.
That's true. We do have a blocker for it. It's hard to get rid of with spells.
Oh, we're ripping a raw Barb Chain again.
Get to work.
Why are we playing Barb Chain like that when we can just play Flare, Father Fury, Miss into Barb Chain? I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh, we opt for the tag out over the set. I do like this a lot.
I mean, tag out is like, tag out is pretty decent. It's like if they go for like a pirouette, that's really good for us. I mean, I guess now we're gonna see the reason for the using what we did before, because now like we have this flare online here.
Yeah, we're just gonna see Flare into Father Fury into Monkey Business now. Fizz is going to flip.
Fizz will flip, but still, Sari's not actually gonna be able to push any damage this turn.
It all depends. Do we hit Noctine Touchstones again? Oh, actually, that doesn't really do a whole lot.
I mean, that kills the.
It does kill Forge Chief, yes.
That does kill Forge Chief, which could actually matter, because then we can push through with this monkey we're summoning now as well.
So Prism does get a chance to check for the Fizz if we have any damage towards the Fizz, and we have Jailbreak.
So technically speaking, right now, Sari has no way to protect this Fizz, so any removal on it would work. However, yes. I don't think if you're Prism, I don't think you're ever taking that chance.
Yeah, no. Like, we have Augmented Clockling online. We're actually just okay with this.
Yeah. I think now you are forced to play something else here because you're in.
No, don't play the tag out. Play Mixologist. Mixologist is so good here.
Yeah, you have to play something else here because you're very scared of Pirouette. Because Pirouette would let them push through a lot. Actually, I don't think you're that scared of Pirouette because that means they can't protect Fizz unless they have exactly Warding Shot in hand.
Exactly, yeah. We see the Jailbreak come out. Can we generate a 3-1? A 3-1 would be absolutely massive here.
Or what about a 4-3 Ephemeral? Honestly, that wouldn't be that bad in this spot.
Honestly, a 4-3 Ephemeral might not be.
Oh, you know, a 2-1 ain't bad. Also, it's a free card to protect the future Fizz.
True, this is true.
All right, so he decides he doesn't want to send this Fizz to his death. I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a high note coming out right now.
Absolutely. And only taking 5 now.
Yep. Sari's lost most of his board, but he has a eye to refill, and he has 3 burn in hand with a fervor if that can resolve. And I mean, Prism Sword's gone through like a bunch of his Mystic Shot effects as well.
And the sad thing is, we are going to probably see this Explorator come down on a non-champion card.
Probably.
It's always feels bad when you have to rip a Explorator on like a 2 or lower cost card. But I do like this tag out a lot.
Oh. Are you ready to see a Hexpliterator to keep this thing alive from a fervor? Oh, he's not gonna rip it.
I do like that a lot, but honestly, if we fervor the monkey into the mixologist, it's gonna get a little weird.
Yeah. But honestly, I don't know. I think Prism might have wanted to take that pass. Like, there only would have been a Father Fury on board. Now he just drew two cards, and he could have dug for Powder Pandemonium.
Yeah, we see I have Boros coming out to give us a pirouette and another barb chain with a warning shot off the top.
Yep, I expect we're probably gonna see like pirouette into Elegant Edge, and then barb chain. Prism's not in great shape here. All right, never mind. He's got high note and deny. Okay, he's in insane shape. I lied.
The question is this high note online? Because if this high note is online, that's going to be absolutely massive for us.
High note
is online. High note's on 6 out of 6.
That's massive. That means that essentially there's no damage being pushed through this turn.
Yeah, so like it may be looking rough for Prism Sword, but I think he's actually really comfortable right now.
He's gonna go for the high note now.
I like this because it respects all out here. Like we don't get blown out by all out now.
I mean, yeah, we don't get blown out by all out, but
I'm okay with taking this 3 damage. I think I am okay with this.
I'll have to see if Prism agrees with you.
Like going down to 6 is probably not the worst thing now that we're sitting on a deny for Powder Pandemonium now.
Yeah, now we have an answer to the first Powder Pandemonium. The problem is we're dying to the second. I mean, to be fair, I think deny is way better on Powder Pandemonium than it is on this Fervor.
Agreed.
And I don't think we want to use Hexpliterator here on this unit because then he's able to spend all of his mana to push the damage. Right, we can see the hand. So Sorry has 3 unknown cards that Prism Sword doesn't know about. So like if he has 2 units, it's way worse. I mean, to be fair, here we know it's blocking the same amount of damage if he Hexpliterates this or not. Oh, he's gonna go for it.
I don't know how I feel about this, honestly.
Yeah, it's like if
like now we're just pushing 5 damage for free.
Well, he's only pushing 3, actually.
No, I mean 1 from the pirouette, and you're pushing
3 here. You have warning shot. To be fair, this was the same damage if you didn't if you let the fervor go through and then dealt with this. But the problem is now that this is on the field. I guess like Prism was hoping that there was just like only a Powder Pandemonium in hand. All right, Stylish Shot, Fizz. Oh, and there's Powder Pandemonium.
Yeah.
Formula. Set's good, but we can't play him this turn. We don't have enough mana. And we are down to I think we're dead. Because even if we deny Powder Pandemonium, Fizz plus the Stylish Shot plus the Warning Shot, that leaves us at 1 HP. Any ping effect kills us. Because we know that there's a Dust Petal Dust in hand to protect Fizz. Oh, he's gonna rip Powder Pandemonium here. Oh,
I do like this.
Yeah, I mean, this does just instantly win the game if it resolves. So, you know, give them less time to find deny.
Well, the only thing is it now forces Prism Sword into a corner now. He's able to drop this Fizz, he's now able to drop this Fizz with relief. And why we're ripping Stylish Shot now?
Stylish was fleeting. That was
that's right. I didn't see that.
Yeah, so like now we have Warding Shot to protect Fizz. We have an Enabler to give him Elusive. So Prism only has 1 effective HP. There's any other burn. That's not bird. Oh wow, that's like the best draw Prism could have gotten. Another smooth mixologist. That's massive.
Like,
I guess the question here is: does Prism try and rip? He is not. I guess Prism's saying, if I'm not dying, I can play smooth mixologist and get out of burn range. And then I think you're just dropping set.
Yeah, set has to be leveled at this point in the game right now.
Probably.
So set's gonna be able to run away with this game, honestly. Oh, we're going for place your bets now, but we still have the mana. Yes, we still have.
Yeah, he's doing this so we can actually just place set and then immediately have him leveled and procced.
So set coming down, flipped on the board. We're gonna get a suplex.
Yeah. So now the question for Sari is, does he actually want to play any of his other cards in his hand? Because if Fizz is the only unit on board, you can try to deny the
Oh, we're just burning it?
I guess he's saying he's not playing anything. I'm fine with it. And now we're just gonna take the attack and probably, oh no, he's gonna look.
Second deny.
Second deny is big. I mean, set's just gonna come down and kill Fizz. We're gonna swing with our 3. Oh, we don't swing with our 3/4s because there's the shark in hand, so we don't want to put them to 1, and then shark can go over that.
Yeah, it's a really respectful play, and heads up.
Yeah. Plus, like, pushing the 3 damage is not going to give us lethal.
Pharaoh's coming down to generate
Formula. What if we drew more cards? How many cards are left in Prism's deck, by the way?
Okay, can we get a highlight of how many cards are in Prism's deck? 16. And we still haven't found a Karma. Is Karma just sitting at the bottom of our deck?
Oof. Also, this is a one of the problems with finance here is that he does become food for the shark. Man, we have plenty of answers to the shark. It's just that we're going to be forced to use them.
I mean, I'm okay with using a concussive palm on a shark.
Yeah, me too. And with the 9 in hand, we're not losing the Patter Pandemonium. I think Prism's gone and clawed his way back from this.
Like, this went both ways. Like, Prism started really high, and then he started falling off, and now he's climbing back up that mountain.
Yeah, exactly. Is this enough to give us? Nope, it's not enough to give us. It is not enough to give us set thing, but gonna immediately go for this. If this resolves, we instantly win because we just play warning shot. This should easily be met with palm. Yep.
This is really rough that Prism Sword hasn't drawn a Karma yet.
Yeah, you can't say the game is over
there
yet.
She is.
She's not coming down till next turn, but she's here.
That's
also, there's no
okay.
coins in. There's no ways to make coins either, so Prism can't just do completely storm off. Oh no, but
we have Facebreaker.
We have Facebreaker, that's true. Oh, and then we have Pit Professional. All right, so we can make a lot of mana. Sorry, finds the second warning shot, but I think unfortunately it's a bit too late for that to matter. Karma's leveled now. Good news for Sari is there's no card draw, so Prism can't put more cards in hand. The bad news is that he can stun this board and then murder him. And I think that's what's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like unfortunately Sari is kind of dying on board.
Yeah, this is it's pretty much the end now.
Yeah.
Especially since, like, even if this Butcher comes down, it's still not going to matter because we still have we have another concussive palm in hand now.
Yeah.
Once this
yeah, if Sari had one more unit, it would matter. Oh, never mind, it wouldn't.
And Prism Sword takes the first set. Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
But Fizz Samira, unfortunately, not strong enough to take down the lineup here from Prism. And honestly, Prism's lineup is very good into what Sari brought there with the burn.
Yeah, like I didn't know how to really expect from Malphite, but like seeing Malphite come on the board and just like completely take over that second game was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they stabilized just in time for it to matter. To like, yeah, that top deck of the Mythixologist mattered a lot because he actually was going to die that last turn if he didn't get the actual 3 health because there was a warning shot in hand and then the second warning shot would have been lethal.
Yeah. And with that, we're going to throw it to a quick break. Sit tight, guys. We'll be right back and we'll know who BBBSSS is going to send as their next player.
Yeah, sounds good.
Your lips are stained with fiction. You always have your reasons, and I spoil you rotten. Your hands are sealed in pockets. You fill them with your secrets. To you, I am nothing. I am. Your kiss, sweet like poison. You know you make me reckless. I'll run, but you are friction. Your touch feels like heaven. You make me hate all my sins. You are my religion. My religion. I have a million reasons to leave you, but I have a billion reasons to keep you.
Welcome back, everybody, to Aegis Esports Hearth of the Huntress quarterfinals. We just got done watching the first set between Real Prism Sword and Sorry. Dragon, why don't you give us a recap of what just happened?
Yeah, so game went 2-1 for Prism Sword. Game 1, Sorry showed Prism Sword his Jinx collection by playing all 3 Jinxes and murdering him with a lot of burn for that. Game 2, Fizz Samir was against Karma, Caitlyn's Malphite Seraphine, and the power of Cosmic Youngling kept Prism Sword topped off long enough to just set up a board and beat him down in the end. And then against Karma's set, Sorry was playing Fizz Samir again, got really close to the lethal, but Prism Sword just got the lucky, the Smooth Mixologist off the top to just keep him out of range for the burn, so we could set up Karma and set and just finish him off.
Yeah, and we now know who the next player is. It's going to be Broken Ball coming up against Real Prism Sword now. But before we go into the decks for Broken Ball, I want to give a shout out to Community Gaming. Without this tournament wouldn't be possible. So the Aegis Esports Hearth of the Huntress Event League is brought to you in part by Community Gaming. Community Gaming is an all-in-one tournament platform that helps supercharge events of all levels, from community grassroots to tier 1 professional events. Experience it yourself. Start playing today and earning at communitygaming.io. And with that, let's hop into the decks right now, Dragon.
All right.
We have on screen Jin Nora. Why don't you take us away with this? Because I know you've been playing this deck a lot.
Yeah, so Jin Nora is one of my favorite decks from a while ago. I haven't been playing it as much because it's not as good now, but it's still got some really solid game into quite a few decks. So the idea behind this deck is that we're using the best cards from the Jin region, which are some of the best skilled followers from the Jin region, like Lord Broadmane and Riphead Rex, and we're combining them with the Portal package to survive the early game long enough where we can start doing condensed shenanigans. Because condense on Riptide Rex is really dumb and stupid. And to complement this, we have a lot of ping spells as well to go with Lord Broadmane, so we can kill off a lot of the early followers. Avenging Vistaya is there to give us a version of Deny in our main deck. Desert Naturalist is a bit of a tech card. If like, for example, against Seraphine Bar, it'd be really good because it can blow up the bar, which is nice. And if you're not against a deck that has Landmark, you can just use it on your own bomb from Drop the Bomb to just summon a 5/5. Should be pretty solid. I do like that we're still playing Rex though, because without Rex, this deck has a hard time closing out the game sometimes. Like sometimes you can just portal beatdown with a bunch of created units, but sometimes you just like get stuck in a stalled board state and don't have anything, and then Rex just comes down, murders your opponent's board, then just murders them. So yeah, this deck has a lot of explosive potential in the later portions of the game.
The really cool interaction between Riptide Rex and Jin that I really enjoy is just you drop Riptide Rex with either Jin on board or in hand, and just you fill up the entire board. Opponent can't do anything.
Yep, yeah, you fill up the entire stack. Your opponent can't play any fast spells. The Rite of Negation won't work. There's like a Karma in play, for example. She can't double up any fast spells. She can't even double up burst spells either, because you need to have a space in the stack to double a burst spell. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So this deck is pretty good, and I'm excited to see it get banned.
Moving on to Broken Ball's second deck, we have Ken and Jinx return to Wrench again. We saw it with Sorry bringing it this time. It is exactly card for card the exact same list. Time Wander didn't really get a whole lot of value except for Charger for Sorry, but we saw Sorry kind of just struggle with the deck at first until he was able to top deck two Jinxes in a row.
No, he top decked 3. He started with the Jinx and then he top decked 2 more. So yeah, Broken Ball can just follow that line where he just draws all 3 Jinxes and says, "Good luck, fam, dealing with all of these." I think he's gonna be in a pretty good position.
Yeah, I agree.
But interested to see, like, maybe this time we see the Augmented Experimenter go in for value, or see more of the burn plan go through. I will say the burn plan is a bit harder against the decks that Prism has. Like Karma's Set and Seraphine Bar have quite a bit of healing, and then Echo Jinx has denies, or Rite of Negations, I mean, to try to deny some of it. So
yeah. And moving on to Broken Ball's third deck, we have Samira Powder Pandemonium.
I will say, I believe this is a little bit different than the version Sari had. I think Sari only had one. Yeah, Sari only had one Jagged Taskmaster. So Broken Ball does not have Fervor in his list, while Sari did, and so he opted for the second Taskmaster. So that's the only difference. Other than that, it's card for card.
Yeah, we're basically going to be seeing a repeat of last matches. It's just, will Broken Ball be able to brute force his way through Prism's lineup?
Yeah, I mean, we saw last time that the healing got just enough time for it to go off. All right, so now we're up into the bans. I think Prism 100% is banning Jin Nora. Jin Nora is the best matchup, and it's like destroys Karma's set. Should be good in the bar.
Yeah, it just being able to like we said last time, like the lineup Prism Sword has is really good into Jinx and Fizz Samira.
Yeah, and for Broken Ball, we saw last time just how annoying the healing could get. I don't know if he wants to run it back and say ban Echo Jinx and say we're just going to run the same matchups again, or is he wants to say, okay, it didn't work last time we banned Echo Jinx, let's try something else.
Like, it's going to be like, I think Echo Jinx is the hardest matchup for these two decks.
Yeah, I can see it, because like you really don't have any interaction for the Echo plan, and like they have Echo Chrono Break, you're just like, all right, next.
Yeah.
And then like also unironically, Scrying Sands kind of messes you up really hard, because you can just like all of a sudden go from like a really good attack to oh you're just killing my unit for free.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I already see the bans, because that's the great thing about being the lore director and also a caster at the same time. I get to see into the future while I leave you hanging to dry.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I was correct with the Jin Nora ban. It makes sense, because like even when it was prevalent, it was very good in Karma's set, because Karma's set wants to go off on turn 10, and then on turn 8 and 9 you say, okay, here's a Riptide Rex, and then here's 2 more.
Back.
All right, guys. You know how we... All right, guys. So we had a completely new game with, no, Hirsch, this is a completely different matchup. There is one card different in Fizz Samira. So this is a completely new matchup, never seen before.
No, never seen on stream. Malphite. This is our first time seeing Malphite Samira Caitlyn into Fizz Samira. I wonder how this match was going to go. I have no clue. Dragon.
I think it's going to depend very heavily on how many Cosmic Younglings does Seraphine players start with in their hand. Because the last one healed like 7 or 8 HP by the end of the game and never died.
Yeah, and just getting X-Check Transmogulator and just making another one. That was really Giga Chad.
I mean, I'll be honest, that didn't matter, but it sent a message.
Prism was saying, I mean business, man.
Yeah.
So we're waiting on the players to get into game now. Well, here comes the fun part. I like to do this as a tradition. I know a lot of people don't do it the same way as I do, and they like flipping a coin. But you know what, Dragon? I have not picked your brain yet. I'm gonna find out right now. What decks are being queued up first?
I'm going to guess we're going to get the same matchup we had last game first. Jinx, Kennen, and Seraphine Bar.
You know what? I'm actually very happy that you didn't say, you know what, I'm one of those people that flips a coin.
Why is that?
Because, like, flipping a coin is so boring. There's no content in that, man. Like, we gotta go...
I think you want to play Jinx Kennen first because you want to... It is your stronger deck, and it's probably the deck that has the better chance in both of these. And you'd like to have your Fizz Samira getting the most chances to win. Like, you don't want to lose with... You don't want to, like, queue up Fizz Samira, and if it loses, all of a sudden now you're, like, stuck with just one deck left.
Yeah, and I think... If I recall correctly, last season before Return of Wrench even came out, BB was on this list before, like anybody was. I think he was the first one to bring Jinx Cannon into the game, and now we're getting into the match.
And I'm right. Let's.
Oh my god, you're so smart, Dragon.
Yep, and that's a really good hand from Prism Sword.
Yeah.
We have a Jury Rig on 1. We have a Seraphine on 2, a Caitlyn on 3, a Clockling on 4. So we have something to do to block and throw in front of these units every turn.
Yeah, and Broken Ball has a fairly decent start right now. We just need to find an actual discard card, and we're kind of.
I mean, hey, blowback counts, right?
Blowback does count, yes, but I'm talking about finding a discard card. This is such a mouthful. A card that discards another card so we can summon a Mech Yordle. I don't know why that was so hard to say.
Rummage is really good because now that lets us flip this Jinx in hand with a way to like actually.
I don't think we're saving this to flip the Jinx. I think we're like our hand is kind of rough right now. We're gonna be.
Oh, do you think we're just playing it next turn?
I think we kind of are. Like if we I can't speak right now. If we rummage the Chompers and the Returno Wrench right now, but we have to rummage the Returno Wrench first. Otherwise, it's going to hit the Choppers. But if we do it in that order, we're able to pull the Seraphine, push 3 damage right now, and also get our hand a little bit unbricked here.
I mean, we either like push 3 damage or eat a removal spell, and I think both of them are.
Yep, and that's live we are going for.
Yep.
And we do find the Squeaker, which does help unbrick this hand a lot here.
Yep, because now you can go you either go Squeaker discarding the thing you got from the Yordle Squire, or you could even go Boom Baboon, discard the Flame Choppers with Squeaker.
It's got to be like Boom Baboon into Flame Choppers on the Squeaker.
Yeah, and then you just get Trumpet Decker and say we have a board now.
Trumpet Decker. Oh, and we do hit Bird. But Caitlyn is coming onto the board.
Yeah, Caitlyn's not great to see here from Prism because everything he's playing is gonna have like 1 HP except for this Squeaker, and those famously died with a single Flash Bomb.
Yes, I was honestly thinking, do we just?
Oh, also, we didn't talk about this earlier. Seraphine generated a Confront in hand, so we can use that to give Caitlyn Challenger and just pick off this board. I think Prism would much rather like use her with Challenger to kill something than to push 3 damage, or giving it to Seraphine to kill the Flame Chompers and push 3 damage. And I mean, hey, everything they have is 1 HP, so that's gonna work. I looked away for 1 second. We confronted the Seraphine? I think the reason we confronted Seraphine is because we wanted to push the 3 damage and kill off the Chompers, because I mean Chompers is probably the one you're going to want to kill because that decides combat.
I think that's extremely greedy. I don't know. I like the idea of Chomper or confronting the Caitlyn and pulling the Squeaker out of the game right now.
Yeah. Well, we also chose the Gem Yordle, so that's going to give +2 to the unit it supports. So I honestly I didn't see what the other options were earlier. Well, I'm not sure that was the best one, but it's the one we chose. Also, Broken Ball beats the Flash Bombs. I'm not drawing any yet.
So Geode is kind of nice here, just because it actually puts our Flame Chompers to work now.
Yes, and with the Spear in hand, it does let you go after Caitlyn if they don't have Pale Cascade, which we can see in hand. Oh, there's a Cosmic Youngling from Prism Sword.
And it's 1 mana.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess he chose it as well. Yep.
There's no way you don't choose Cosmic Youngling in this matchup. There's no way.
I will say, if he plays it right now, it is in danger of dying.
This is true. It is. We're opting not to buff the Flame Chompers. That's interesting.
We want to push the damage here.
Like, if we buff the Flame Choppers, take this Caitlyn off the board now, we're kind of just sitting in a comfortable spot.
Of course, we are assuming that's going to work. We can tell from the hand it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Broken Ball's in a bit of a rough spot because...
No, actually, it still is going to work if we...
Oh, now it's not because we got rid of the way to buff it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're gonna see the Pale here to take that unit out. Because like, if we play Jinx, she immediately eats the Hexbliterator.
So now we see Flame Chopper's going to be pulling this Augmented Clockling out of the... Or no, we're still not going to see Augmented Clockling take anything out. I like the idea of just controlling this board. I think...
I think you want to put damage on Caitlyn. I think you just want to drag the 1/4. I think you want to drag... Yeah, I was going to say, I think you want to drag Youngling here. Because Youngling can just block a...
Oh, this is absolutely heads up that we're actually buffing the Squeaker now. This actually puts Squeaker out of range of anything.
Yep. So now Squeaker doesn't trade if it gets blocked, which is good for us. And it's going to kill anything that goes in front of it. So that's probably what's going to be eating the... Yeah, let's say that's probably eating that. And if Seraphine's forced to block, that means she doesn't get to kill something for free next turn with Challenger. This is the downside of getting the Seraphine Challenger last turn, which is that now she doesn't... now she wants to challenge something, she will die to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the Caitlyn would have been able to eat the Squeaker for free, for example. But, I mean, Prism Sword's still in a really good spot. He's taking 5 here, which is not great. But now he gets to start the Youngling value. And, like, Broken Ball doesn't really have an answer to Youngling. It's like, if he goes for Blowback next turn, the Targon Tellstones can give him +3/+3, and then he just never is dying again. And you go for Jinx, it gets Hexbliterated. So... yeah, not great spot right now for Broken Ball. Also, there is 4 Flash Bombs in his deck now, and that's going to threaten these 1 HP units that we see on Broken Ball's side of the field.
He's going to top deck at least 1 here, I think. No! Okay.
Jinx got +1 HP, which is nice. I'm assuming we're seeing a Zonite Urchin discarding something here.
It's going to be the Time Wander here. This Time Wander is not going to be generating any value for us this game at this point right now.
Yeah, Time Wander seems pretty bad. Like, you're not killing... Like, the Seraphine and Youngling are out of range, and, like, pushing 1 damage on something is not going to be...
Oh, so we're just not discarding anything.
Oh, he wants to play Jinx and flip her, but he's just going to instantly lose the game. We could also be seeing what could be happening here is doing this, so that next time we play Jinx, play Blowback with the removal on the stack, and then yeah, okay.
Yeah, Prism has a really good read that BB has Jinx in hand now, just because of that Zonite Urchin dropping down without discarding anything.
Yeah. I mean, also it could be this case of you don't want to. There's 4 Flash Bombs in your deck. You really don't want to draw one right now, so.
Yeah, so we are going to be able to not actually. We're not killing this Cosmic Youngling yet. I would like to kill this Caitlyn.
I mean, he's doing this because what we're doing here is we're going to do this, play Rocket, then Youngling dies to Rocket.
Oh, yes, that's true. I forgot we're getting a Rocket this turn.
Yeah, so... Oh, I mean, you are not allowed to hit okay here. You're dying if you do. So he's just baiting on, does he want to play around like Guiding Touch on this Youngling to keep it alive, or like Pale Cascade to keep it alive, whereas if you go for Caitlyn...
Guiding Touch does not keep the Youngling alive. Oh, well actually, yes it does. Yes, it does after.
Yeah, so he's like, does he want to... I mean, we've seen the only Pale, there's only 1 Guiding left. All right. And we do know from the way the hands look that this will kill the Youngling, which will be good. However, Broken Ball is now down to only top decks. And he's going to be losing his entire board very shortly.
Yeah, he is.
Because either we're going to Falling Star to kill something, or we're going to...
I imagine we're just going to
Sun Fumes here. Yeah. Yeah, well, what I can imagine seeing is like, let this attack happen. Throw Caitlyn in front of the thing that gets buffed by Mecha Enforcer. So Seraphine in front of the other thing, and then just Sun Beams the 3rd one, and then just take 2 damage, or maybe 3 if they buff the unit with Wrench. Or we're just gonna do this and then block off.
I was just gonna ask, are we on any copies of Caustic Rift?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think you take Caustic Rift at this point, because like you're murdering most of this board this turn. I think you take Bar and try to go for that value.
Well, I mean, Caustic Rift is just a blowout here, in my opinion.
Yeah, we can't play Caustic Rift this turn.
I know it's
And we have to like triple. We do have to lock down this entire board to not be dying, because you're now guaranteed taking at least 3 damage. Because we're taking 1 damage from the 1/4 and then 2 damage from impact.
I think you're taking. You're taking at least 4 here.
You're only taking 3 because you just full block.
Oh yeah, we have a blocker, a third blocker.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I think it's really smart to not buff Baboon, because you actually want the wrench back in your hand. So you top deck like Squeaker, for example, it gets a lot better. I don't think you're allowed. Oh, going to 2.
I don't think we have a choice here.
I mean, we do have the Caustic Rift. We did actually take that instead of Bar. I guess the big question now is, how close is Big Cat? The Big Cat can come down like next turn. That's really huge for us. All right, Bird is a really good draw for Prism Sword to see, because that's not killing us. I think Broken Ball's never playing this Bird. I think he's just holding it in hand for like discard fodder.
Yeah. Especially if we top deck a blowback here.
Yeah.
Our third blowback.
Mm-hmm. I think Prism might have to just rip this Caustic Rift. I mean, there's a jinx you lose the game anyways. You couldn't beat that. I think you have to rip this Caustic Rift. Because I think you do, because if you let this go to combat, then you can just buff up the monkey, and then all of a sudden you can't actually. Yeah, because now monkey's going to get spell shield, so it's going to hit face for a damage. Now even with this guiding touch we're getting here,
there's no difference between 1 and 2 though.
I mean, there is a difference between 3 and 4 though, which is what we would have had if we waited.
Yeah.
Only a fool would enter battle unprepared.
So Caustic Rift now down to 1 mana here. Not thinking a return. Both of them hit the Squeaker though.
Yeah, it's both at the Squeaker, and also Return of Wrench is really not what we want to be seeing at this point. We really want to see something like, I mean, obviously we want to see Jinx. Jinx is just GG.
So Caitlyn comes to the block. We hit Caustic Rift here, and we have Guiding Touch here to still keep us afloat. Top decking Formula here.
Oh wait, he's gonna pop the spell. Okay, yeah, he's gonna block.
Turning yourself in.
A safety block. Oh, and this kills everything. Okay, that's right. We had some fumes. Okay. Well, that's actually, this is really good for.
Yeah, that's just the game right there.
Not yet. It's very. Prism's in a very good position, but he doesn't actually have a way to win the game. Oh, blowback is a really good draw.
I think our cat's online too.
Yeah, I mean that's the only question, is if cat's online, this game's over right now.
Oh, we got the Malphite. We got Funny Rock Man.
Yeah,
but Sandy is going to come down leveled on the board. What spell are we gonna generate?
All right. We got Hate Spike. That's funny.
That is funny.
But yeah, I mean, Broken Ball's not dead right now. He has a chance to top deck Jinx still. Jinx is still lethal.
Jinx is not lethal. We have
Jinx.
we
would blow back and then play Jinx, and then that would be lethal.
That's true. I was gonna say we have Targonian Telstones here. Earthshaker is what can get us there. But Malphite's just gonna come on. Oh, never mind.
That's not Malphite.
That is not Malphite.
Is
You're correct.
to impact. There's two different impact units that are going to be coming down here. Does Prism know you need to stop both of them is the question? Because he can go Hush on one, Hate Spike the other so they don't get the impact damage.
You have to Hush this Earthshaker now. Actually, well, you really don't have to, but you are going to be Hushing this Earthshaker here. Prism Sword hovering high notes. I didn't see the other card. Oh, it would say Spike.
Okay, so he's stopping both the impact damage here. That's good. He needs to do that, and he's holding on to the
Targonian Tellstones.
Yep.
Wait, Falling Star kills Earthshaker.
Oh, that's true. And then I think. Oh, so I mean, the question is, do we have enough for Cat yet?
We have to. We have to. There's no way we don't.
I mean, I think you always just play Cat over playing anything else because you want to be playing Cat in one action. Oh wait, he's going for. Blowback is gonna make it so the Hate Spike doesn't resolve, which means we push the extra damage from the impact here.
Hey, is Hate Spike?
He Hate Spiked off of the 2-1.
No, I know he Hate Spiked off the 2-1, but is Hate Spike not targeting
It's targeting the fourth. It is targeting the arena promoter. Which, because that's what's killing it.
Okay.
So now,
I see it now. I see it
Broken
now.
Ball top. So now, I mean, this isn't Cat. Broken. Oh wait, there's a Mystic Shot in hand. We do have lethal. We open attack. We do have lethal.
Yes. Unless...
Actually, no, we don't. We don't have lethal right now.
No, we do.
No, we don't, because if Broken Ball gets blowback, he wins.
Yeah, if Broken Ball top deck burn, he does win. Unless we wait, do we already play Glimpse?
Oh, that's a guiding touch. All right, and so now it's sweet. That's a Mystic Shot. That is lethal. We've played Guiding Touch already, so we can't generate it for free. And by doing this, it means we have less cards. None of these cards are healing him. None of these cards are healing him.
Did BB just win?
BB might have just won.
Wait, we still have a chance. We still have a chance.
It's looking for the card on top. It's looking for Star Shaping. He doesn't see Star Shaping on either of these. And he's running out of time. And he's just ran out of time. All right. Well, he's looking for healing. Oh, none of those cards are healing him.
Let's go.
There's still a chance. We still can rummage for.
Yeah, he should play Dust Petal Dust. Yep, play Dust Petal Dust into rummage, because then that gives us all 4.
You have to play Sonic Wave here too.
No, you don't.
Oh wait, yeah, we're not top.
Oh, Celestial Impact is not healing you fast enough, and that's not Star Shaping.
Oh, Broken Ball actually came back.
Oh my God! Just gets him in the end. Yeah, just like.
Bro, this
The burn was enough, dude.
This set is literally just a roller coaster of emotions right now.
That was, yeah, like that was such a huge play there by Broken Ball as well to make sure he got the 3 damage through on from the arena promoter by playing the blowback, so that make sure that the Hate Spike didn't go off. Great, I actually think, I mean, in the end, it didn't actually matter because he could have just played blowback and Mystic Shot on the stack together next turn. All right, this one's might be a little bit harder, right? Caustic Riff. It's not really do great against Pattern Pandemonium, although there's a Pattern Pandemonium in hand, but we're not going to keep it this time.
Yeah, there's no reason for us to keep it at this early stage of the game.
Broken Ball is a really good hand for turn 2.
Yeah.
Like going Stylish Shot into
Butcher into Jagged or into Elegant Dancer.
Yeah. I will say, Prism Sword, if he had a high note, he would have been in really good shape here, because then he could like high note the 3-2. Oh, he's not gonna play it. Oh, he's gonna get punished really hard if he doesn't play Elegant Edge here. Obviously, right now he's thinking, okay, there's no way for him to deal 3 damage to this at fast speed, so if I attack now, this is going to get through. But there's a 1 jury rig in the deck. So now he doesn't get So now this doesn't get through. Now we lose our stylish shot for good, which was our only way to proc plunder with this hand. So now
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't play the elegant edge. Like elegant, like going that wide this turn.
yeah, like
Really
you
massive.
play both of them. One of them is basically guaranteed to get through, whereas now you just lost your plunder enabler.
Me?
Now look at like you could have had like this turn. You could have gone like you could have saved it for next turn. You could have had Elegant Edge, Jagged Taskmaster with all out backup and Fizz. Like
Yeah.
now we don't have any of that, and if we don't get another plunder enabler, now our hand's really bricked.
Oh boy, here I go.
Oh, dude, the flash bomb. You never top stick a flash bomb on Fizz, right? All right. Well, there's a way to proc plunder. That's good.
But it's a very expensive way to proc plunder.
Yeah, I mean, Broken Ball's out of cards in his hand. He only has an all out after this, so like you have to go all in here.
Yeah. Especially to keep this Fizz alive. Hitting Mystic Shot high note off the top right now with
Yeah.
Sunburst going on.
I guess the question is, which one do you take? Takes Mystic Shot.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree
that
with
that makes sense because you want to try and get a high note double with Seraphine maybe if you can. I will say this is this board is going to be pushing some damage here.
Yeah, for sure.
Prioritizes killing Fizz over stopping the most damage possible.
So we're pushing 13 damage here. Or actually, no, we're pushing a ton.
We're pushing way more because all out. All right, so
Oh, 1 damage on the lethal.
dude, what are we talking? Dude, imagine us talking all this stuff about Broken Ball. Dude, we didn't see the vision of him just top decking his way to victory by getting a plunder enabler, and then like, I mean, Prism's like super cooked now. Like this warning shot at the top is over.
I want to point
Prism
out,
Sword only has like 2 sources of healing. He has no removal in hand.
I want to point out that if we actually no, if we did play Elegant Edge, we would not have been able to make that play. But we top deck a stylish shot for the win.
Yeah, and there's no healing right now, so it's just GG.
Time to find a mute.
Broken Ball just cleans the house. Says, you know what? Last game was a fluke. Last round was a fluke. This is actually a favored matchup. Gets the 2-0. And yeah, Prism's going to be knocked down. And we're going to be going on to a game 3. And we got a series on our hand, folks. And it's now 1-1.
I think this is going to be a 5-game series. Just saying.
Oh, Hirsch, I hope you want to stay up all night for this.
Oh, it's a good thing I work 9 a.m. on Saturday. But with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in just a few short minutes.
Yeah, see you, folks.
Welcome back, everybody, to Aegis Esports, Hearth of the Huntress League. Everything's upside down now. We had in the first set, we had Prism Sword completely beat Sorry with the same lineup that BB brought, and then it just completely flipped around. Same bands, same lineup, or same decks, same match order, and just Broken Ball was able to pull out a win there.
Hey, all I'm saying is, Hirsch, you have to remember there's a 1 card difference between the deck, which was that Broken Ball was winning 2 Jagged Taskmasters, and I think that card came up a little bit big there in his win against Prism in Game 2.
There you go.
Now, for those who missed it, Prism played Caitlyn Seraphine Bar both games. Game 1, Broken Ball was able to top deck Lethal Burn with Jinx Cannon and get the game by a hair's edge. And then in Game 2, he just absolutely smoked him on turn 4 and then got the lethal top deck on turn 5.
Yeah, Broken Ball is just top decking lethal back to back.
Yeah, I will say, I think the second game, it was like not as big as the first game because, like, you know, your opponent's at 1 HP on turn 4 versus 1 HP on like turn 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm. And now we have the man, the myth, the legend, the the OG puff cap peddler himself, Mr. Max Got the Tracks, coming up with Aatrox, Bane, Quinn. Why don't you give us a rundown of this deck real quick, Dragon?
Yeah, so this is the classic deck that's been making a resurgence in recent times because it's just a deck that has like a pretty solid matchup into everything. It's like the classic mid-range deck we have right now in LOR, where we're just playing big dumb Demacia units and Darkens and trying to kill the opponent through stats. Whether we have like Ranger Knight Defector with Harp, it makes it really annoying to block. We have some solid removal with like Fish Fight and we have some single combat and Cataclysm, and we have some challenger units that try and interact with the board, force interaction there. Then we have Aatrox coming down, healing 2 on every strike, and when he's summoned to try and like stabilize the board with some extra healing. And then, like, once you play the World Ender, you just try to close out the game and end it. I will say we're playing 1 Darkened Fan, which I think Max is going to be really hoping he finds in these matchups, considering how aggressive and burn-oriented they are. Having that 2 extra healing from the Dragonling could matter a lot to buy you enough time to get to Aatrox. So we'll have to see if that's going to matter. Other than that, this list looks pretty standard. We have hoping he doesn't break too much with his units, and that he doesn't get the classic hand of 4 weapons and nothing to put them on.
Yeah, I also do like the one of single combat here, along with one of Catalysm here. Single combat does come in a lot handy, especially when you're not able to play Fish Fight right away.
I mean, yeah, also single combat will matter a lot in the Jinx matchup, because you can throw a weak unit in front of a unit with impact, and then single into something else to deny the impact and kill something else off too. I think that will be a relevant interaction if it comes up, but we'll have to see.
Moving on to Max's second deck now. We have Alawi Swain, something that's been around for a while in this meta right now. Basically, being able to control the board as long as you can until you're able to either generate enough tentacles to win through Alawi, or you're just playing towards late game when you drop your boat into either Riptide Rex, or just having Swain just clean up the entire game for you here.
Yeah, this deck is also called the I really hope I draw Watchful Idol on turn 1, because that's the real carry of this deck. Not Alawi, not Swain, it's Watchful Idol. Because Watchful Idol turbo levels your Swain and lets you just play a massive Alawi on curve, or like set up a really strong Seize Voice.
And we don't have enough time to get into the third deck right now because the guy,
Jace Heimerdinger, which is seeing play right now.
yeah, we are going to see Jace Heimerdinger into Fizz Samira right now. And just to catch up the viewers of what was banned here, we had Aatrox banned on Max's side, and we have Jhin banned on B-Ball side.
I think both those make sense. Jhin is even though the other decks are like more aggressive, it's still really annoying to go like deal with Riptide decks, you know. Oh, he plays the Butcher, but it does die to this Aftershock, so. But
No,
it actually doesn't because we have All Out. So now it gets to live and push 5 damage here, which I think Broken Ball is super happy with. And we also get the Stylish shot back.
Yeah.
Also a good start.
So with this right now, like B-Ball is completely favored in the end of this matchup right now.
Yeah, I will say, because it only has 1 HP, I think this is a really good time to, I think it's, okay, you know what, this makes sense because it can't get All Out into safety here. But we can Quietus the Butcher now, which I think is really good. Oh, but Shock Blast is very good if we see a Samira here. And then they play Fizz, they like go for Jace.
Shock Blast will be huge if we actually play the Fizz here. Like if we just rip Shock Blast here, it's got to go Butcher into face. It can't go onto this Fizz.
Yeah. I mean, I think right now you're just passing again if you're Max. Oh, or he's gonna go for, oh no, he's gonna go for Quietus here. Okay, this makes sense.
And it's gonna be punished by All Out now.
Yeah, I don't think you care though, because you're just gonna play a Mystic Shot and kill it. Yeah, so he's like not even gonna bother trying to save it.
So we're gonna see the Samira get dropped here now.
Now you just honestly, I wouldn't hate seeing Piercing Darkness on this. Oh, I don't like seeing this though, because now
yeah, All Out's gonna get punished here.
Yeah. Or is he actually gonna say Samira doesn't matter? No, he's gonna.
No, we have to save the Samira right now.
Yeah,
Like
also...
if we save the Samira and we just put out 2 Stylish shots plus the flare, or I'm sorry, plus the All Out right now.
I mean, I think we don't want to play both Stylish shots because we want to have protection. Because I mean, don't actually wait a second. There's nothing stopping us from playing both Stylish shots. Honestly,
yeah, there's absolutely nothing.
And then if they go for the Mystic Shot on Fizz, we blow them out with the Warning Shot. I think he should have gone Piercing Darkness there because there's no way to punish that.
And we also put Fizz on top of that.
Yeah, I think Broken Ball's got him again with a really fast game 1.
So we're now forced to play Piercing Darkness next turn, and this Mystic Shot is just going to get punished here.
Yep. And we also don't have a way to deal with Fizz either because... Yep.
Well, we still... Actually, no, that's just lethal in hand.
Yep.
You're forced to rip this Piercing Darkness onto the Samira next turn.
Yeah, and... Oh... Actually, I don't know how many Plunder procs we have for that to be. I think there's only 1 Plunder proc. I actually don't think it's that good.
Yes, we only have 1 Plunder proc right now, but we're really playing. Yeah, we're playing Fish right now.
Yeah. Well, Reggie, give us a way to survive.
I don't think the only way Reggie can give us something to survive is if we hit Vengeance or Hexpliterator right now. Yeah. And even then, I still don't think we're surviving.
Yeah, we go to... I know, we're still dead anyways. Yeah, like...
Yeah, we hit the Vengeance.
Yeah, like, sure, we survive the attack, but it's like... What happens is they just go... Double Stylish Shot. I think they probably shouldn't play the Flare. Never mind. Fucking am wrong. He just gets another Warning Shot. I mean, actually, we don't even need to play Flare.
Yeah, we don't. It's just straight up lethal now.
Yep. Max is gonna be kicking himself for not going for Piercing Darkness on Samira or the other card. I mean, I think I can understand why Max didn't do it is because he's like, okay, I went for the Quietus on the Butcher and he didn't play this All Out to protect it, so maybe he probably doesn't have it, but you're just waiting for a higher priority target to save there.
And with that, Broken Ball just takes another quick win.
Bro, like, who needs to worry about like playing the late game with that deck? You just kill them on turn 4.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, he just like, he's like, he doesn't need to worry about his hand being empty because his hand is empty. His opponent's nexus is also 0, so
Yeah.
it's like throwing out his entire hand by like turn 4 and just killing his opponent. Like when Sari was playing it, Sari had to go into late game. No, he was getting a lot of the draw effects. It wound up not being enough. Whereas here, it's like Broken Ball has been drawing 1 card per turn, but it hasn't mattered.
Yeah. So this is going to be a rough game for Max too, because this deck Heimer Jace does struggle into. Why am I losing my train of thought? Jinx Cannon right now. It is an uphill matchup, but like right now, Max's hand is not looking that bad. We have Quietus on 1. We have Soul Harvest. We have Production Surge to keep us alive, and Piercing Darkness as well. We have a good setup going for us right now.
Yeah, and like if he discards the wrench right now, I believe it goes to the Abyss.
No, it goes
to I'm thinking of when you discard it for the whatever it's called. When you discard it with the 4 mana draw spiral, it goes to the void. That's right.
Yeah, if there's nothing on the board, it does go to the void.
Yeah.
But I imagine we're going to see either,
I mean, there should always be a Soul Harvest here. So this is all really cool. The problem is that Max does not have a single play he wants to make next turn because you really don't want to rip Production Surge for 3. The good news for him is Broken Ball also doesn't have a play he wants to make next turn.
Yeah. Seeing a Geo come down on the board just with nothing else, it's really disheartening. Like Max doesn't really care about taking 2 damage right now.
Max is probably jumping in his seat. He's only taking 2 damage this turn.
Yeah.
Like, oh sick, this wasn't like the Dasher card that like actually murders me.
And we draw another Quietus to get rid of this wrench.
Yeah. Oh, Broken Ball just passes. Okay.
Broken Ball 10 is really bricked up right now.
So Max can play Heimer, but Heimer actually dies to double Electric Wrench. I think we're going to see double Harpoon here to just kill this Heimerdinger, and Max is not going to be in great shape when that happens. I think Max is really relying on this Heimerdinger to get some units down, but
I don't know if I really agree with that with taking 6 right there. I think what we were like.
Oh, I think you were supposed to quiet it. I think you were supposed to quiet this as well.
Yeah, you're 100% supposed to quiet this. If I'm in Max's spot right now and I see no units being played on turn 4 and just 1 unit being played on turn 5 so far, I can get that read that. Broken Ball.
I think Max is getting the read that this Heimerdinger is not long for the world. Oh, yeah. 3 1-1s. Oh, wow.
That's actually really nice.
That is really good for him, honestly.
And we get the Fearsome Turret as well.
Yeah, so now that gets to push 3 damage next turn. There is 4 bird in hand, and there's like 3 impact in the board, so it's not looking too great for him. I don't agree with swinging with all these 1-1s because they get easily blocked by this. I guess you're thinking here, if he blocks this, you actually can Quietus and kill the 1/4. And I think you, at this point, I think you prioritize killing that over stopping the wrenches.
But I don't think we're allowed to do that now with how low our HP is.
Also, another big issue is that there's a Lightning Rush in hand. So our Piercing Darkness is not guaranteed to heal us.
Yeah.
Oh, and Professor Von Mech is such good refill for this hand. I'm gonna guess that's what we took. Yeah.
It has to be Professor Von Mech. Like, we have nothing else really going for us with this hand.
Yeah, I will say this: if we see the Professor Von Mech come down, then the Piercing Darkness gets to come down, heal us for 6, heal us for 5, take out a unit, which will be good. Problem is, I don't know if it'll be good enough. But
well, we're opting to go for the Quietus line to get rid of this Geode right now.
Yeah, and I think we're just gonna let that happen. We don't think we care enough about it, and we're just playing Professor Von Mech here. And I think you're forced to play a 5-mana Scrap Traption. I don't think you have a choice.
Yes, you're 100% forced to right now. And I mean, Lonely Poro. I forgot what the 3-mana card's name
We have
is.
Ceaseless Sentry, Ayula, and Lonely Poro.
Yes,
All these are
Ayula.
pretty good cards.
Ceaseless Sentry is actually really good for Broken Ball here.
Yep.
But hitting Ayula on the Squeaker now, making it a 4-2 overwhelm.
Max's hand is so awkward because like he doesn't have any spell mana banked, so he can't play anything else besides this Mystic Shot. Like he can go Formula Mystic, but like that's it. Oh,
Yeah.
and there's a Destined Poro too.
But we haven't flipped the champion yet, so it's not that great.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is? It's another created card and another unit to throw under a bus.
True.
And I think right now we're gonna see a blowback onto probably the 3-1 before we attack, because then we get 2 more wrenches and that's like super doomed for Max.
If Broken Ball is able to get his blowback or his 2 wrenches onto a unit that is not Squeaker or Flame Choppers, I think that's pretty good right now.
Yeah. Well, he also could just do this attack here. This will definitely prompt the Mystic Shot on the Squeaker. But we're going to Formula first because we might as well in case we could get another unit. Ooh, I'm kind of wishing we formulated first now because getting the Forge Chief to block would have been nice. I think you probably just let this go. You actually have Lethal and Burn in hand right now, so... Oh, he's gonna pull. Oh, going for the wrenches now to see if he push 2 more damage.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like this line.
Gets it. 2 more damage. That's lethal right now. I think that's it too, right? Broken Ball just absolutely terrorizing Puffcat Peddlers right now with.
Broken Ball has had enough, man. He's tired of Simon always carrying him. He doesn't want Bajik taking the spotlight. Broken Ball is now saying, "This is my time to shine. This is my turn to show you guys that the first 2 BBs are for me."
Yeah. I also wanted to say, hey, you know what? Sorry, I saw that you were playing these decks. Let me show you how it's done.
Exactly. And with that, PCP is down to their last player. It is do or die for them, and their last player is Sleepy Panda on Jax Orn, Nasus Vigar, and Zombie Ash. So we'll see how that match turns out in just a few minutes. We're going to cut it to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm so scared of getting used to this. All the vines that keep you tethered in your room. Well, someday both of us are leaving here, but for now I'll just bring this seed to you. Will you meet me in the daylight like we did before? Then I felt you on my shoulder, and you weren't suffering anymore. You said, I'm sorry that you worried, but don't apologize. I told you to forget me, but you stayed by my side when I said, don't try to make yourself remember.
Welcome back, everybody, to AGC Sports Hearth of the Huntress League. I am Hirsch, joined by Dragon. I actually pointed in the right direction this time. I am so proud of myself. It's taken me so long to realize which direction is which now. Dragon, give us a recap of what just happened.
What just happened is Broken Ball proved that you don't need to worry about card draw in your aggro deck if you just kill your opponent before the card draw matters. Because game one, he played Samir Fizz, went down to 0 cards in hand, and killed and put his opponent and kill his opponent with Fizz and a bunch of other burn spells. Then game two, he played Jinx Cannon and murdered his opponent by. That game, he just got a Von Mech and just went wide and had a bunch of other burn and just overwhelmed whatever Max had left in his to go.
Yeah. Real quick to sidetrack, because we never really mentioned this at the start of the cast. This wasn't planned, by the way. I came on the cast last minute, but Dragon and I are matching. We're cosplaying matron decks right now.
True, yeah. You know, when he's summoned, he wins the game. When I'm summoned, your opponent dies. You know,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Right.
It's different method. It's different methods to get to the same location. You know.
Yes. And moving on to Sleepy Panda's lineup for today, we have Jax Ornn, something that's been around for a while. It came back during Eternal last season and stayed around even through Standard this season. So Jax Ornn, basically standard mid-range deck, make big unit, punch face, win the game. We're running Buried in Ice just to be able to guarantee that cheeky win con for our next token. We have Glacial Saurian to replace Ruthless Raider as a better unit to throw on a weapon for Overwhelm, just to get that early Overwhelm damage as well. And then we have all of our weapons that we're able to forge. And we're running actually Omen Hawk. I don't think any list I've seen actually ran Omen Hawk. This is interesting.
Yeah. Actually, I for what Sleepy Panda's could be going against this game, I really like some of the choices he made. Omen Hawk means he has more units to block with in the early game, which is to be very important against these aggressive decks. Brittle Steel is also going to be super important against these decks because a lot of the units only have at most 3 HP. So Brittle Steel can stop them from hitting face. And then, everything else looks pretty standard. There's a triple fish fight for interaction and entrancing lair as well. You have all the weaponsmiths. Innovative Blacksmith is probably one of the more important ones to these matchups because Pokeball's playing very aggressive decks, and you're going to want some healing for that. I would assume that we're still seeing the Narjin get banned, and that we're going to be seeing the playing against the double aggressive decks, but we'll have to see.
And moving on to Panda's second deck of the night, we have Vygar Nasus, another deck that's been around for a while. Basically, getting your slay units on board, taking units off the board, being able to either trade or just basically just straight up just killing units in general. Getting Vaults of Helia on the line to be able to summon or quickly summon Nasus, build Nasus up, and basically just overwhelm the board.
Yeah, and Vygar is in some of the older versions were playing Mono Nasus. This one's playing Vygar Nasus. Vygar does make sense because the 4-drop slot was really not used that effectively before, and Vygar just comes down, gives you a removal spell, and he can pump up your Descent Ada, so you can get if you go through your vaults, you can get to a Descent Ada, and that can just be a one-sided board wipe, which would be pretty massive, and then he can just be a win con in himself. Vygar's spell also will probably matter quite a bit here because being able to stun everything with 2 or less power, a lot of the units we've seen have 2 or less power, so this could be a relevant piece of text. But I will say I still don't know if you want to be running this deck against some of these more aggressive decks you're seeing, because we have Quietus, we have Haste Spike, and we have Soul Harvest, and then that's kind of it for our cheap removal. And then we only have 3 units to play in the first 3 turns of the game. We have Forsaken Bakai, Ceaseless Sentry, and Rockbear Shepherd. And 2 of them died at Pirouette, for example, or the other removal spells that Jinx has as well, whatever it's called. Oh god, I can't remember the 2 deal 2 to Nexus, deal 2 to face, whatever. Harpoon, yeah.
Yep. And moving on to Sleepy Panda's last deck, we have Zombie Ash, a deck that we saw on stream last week with Loser Beam, with him and his magical bag of tricks and being able to pull wins out of nowhere. This deck has a lot of intricate lines that are very interesting and nice. And
Yeah,
one thing I do notice that is an addition to this deck is Shaman.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, Shaman, like getting that continuous freeze. Like, hey, if your opponent can't deal with it, it's gonna pump up your Rhyme Things pretty heavily, and can be really annoying for some decks, like having their strongest unit Frostbite every turn. I will say, there's one very important thing this deck does not have, and that's healing. I think that might matter a little bit against these decks that he's up against. So,
Yeah.
like
Moving. God.
guys, like it's just really good at stalling against like mid-range decks, but against these more aggressive decks, it's probably not what you want to be seeing if you're Sleepy Panda. But we'll have to see how it's going to play out. We're getting to the ban phase here. Honestly, I think he might be forced to leave up Jinora because I think Jinora's like the least aggressive option here. And we've seen that like Broken Ball has just been popping off with Jinx Cannon and Samira Fizz. That you might just want to take one of them away and try to save mental there.
Honestly, we have a lineup that is good into both Jinx Cannon and Fizz Samira. Like with Ashe, we have free targets. Like we don't have to worry about Fizz blocking or taking away any of our spells because they're all burst speed. With our I'm sorry, with our Frostbites, we basically are able to control Jinx Cannon with Nasus Viger as well. Like honestly, I think the ban is Bandle Jin.
Nasus, the problem here is that Nasus Vigar is not that great against Fistamira because all out if they all out, you can't really beat that too well. And you have a really hard time like dealing with the continual burn. You won't have any healing at all, so that could just mean you just get burned out by like death by 1,000 cuts. And it is gonna be the Jinora ban again, and it's gonna be Jax Orin banned as well. Okay. I mean, I was gonna say Jax Orin probably the ban because it's just the most aggressive deck. It can kill you on turn 5. Weapons of the Apprentice can give you a little bit of incidental healing. The units are just better than yours. Makes the most sense for the ban here. Oh yeah, well let's see, because like I think you're right about Ashe being decent into Fizz Samira. I don't think it's very good into Jinx Cannon.
It is because we're able to frostbite a lot of the units here, and this deck wants to play around impact a lot. And if a unit is frostbite, it's not going to impact.
Well, that's true. I guess my big concern is that we don't have any healing, and that burn damage can add up very quickly. Like any chip damage can mean that we're just going to be dying pretty quickly. And I don't think our win con is that fast. Like I don't think we're building up our frozen inferiors and like killing on like turn 5 or 6. I think we're like turn 8, 9 is when we can about expect this deck to get lethal, I would say. And you can have some very bricked draws with like for Kindlers and Harrowings in your hands. Like you have some very expensive units, and that could be a huge issue.
Yeah. And we're just waiting on the players to actually get into the game now.
Yeah, also, I didn't mention this before, but for the Ashe deck, but like triple glimpse, we're not having that many units. Well, yeah, we're starting with Nasus. That makes the most sense. I think we should. I think yeah, you keep Vigar. You definitely want Soul Harvest and Vengeance. Quicksand, not the worst, but you're not very happy with this start from Broken Ball if you're Sleepy Panda though, because there's 3 units that can come down here, and you're not blocking any of them.
We see Yordle Squire come out, getting a free spear off the top right now.
Yep. Sleepy Panda should probably just pass back. I don't think you really want to. Oh, he's gonna hit the Soul Harvest here.
It's so rough, but we kind of.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. But now you play the bigger one that got the chime, and now you just push 5. There's no play for Sleepy Panda next turn. Yeah, this is the problem with Nasus. Is like, yeah, sure you can like do okay into this matchup, but like you're playing like not that much removal. When you don't find it, you're gonna die. Oh, Quietus is very good to see here, but the problem is now we can go like Boomaboon into Electro Harpoon. That means that like the Vigar or even blowback too. Whew.
Yeah, this is really rough. Like we have to play this Vigar now.
Yeah, but if we play Vygar now, they just like pull it to the side with his flame chompers they're making, and the Quietus doesn't kill the 3/2 either, so we're not able to stop the most damage. I mean, I think what you're doing here is you're playing Quietus to kill one of these units, and then playing Vygar afterwards, and then you're gonna be okay. You're able to play Vygar now. That's good because now Vygar can darkness and kill the 3/2, which is nice.
But if we darkness and kill the 3/2 now, we're still being pulled off to the side. We're still going to be taking it at least, or we not at least. We are still taking 6 damage right now.
We're definitely taking. Yeah, we are taking this 6 damage here. We're going to like it, and actually we're taking 8 damage here, and we're going to like it. Or actually, we could Quietus kill. We could also kill the flame chompers. That actually might be the better play here.
I mean, it's still either way. We're still taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, and it's not getting. Our hand is not making this any better.
No, it's really not. It's looking really rough for Sleepy Panda. Like if you don't draw an early curve into this deck, you're kind of just really in a tough spot.
I'm very surprised we're not playing. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think there's a reason to not play Boom Baboon here.
Yeah, just swing in.
And I think you're forced. I do think you are forced to block a 2/1 though. I think. Ooh.
So.
Yeah, I think you have to block a 2/1 here because you really just need to take a unit off the board. But you're at 1 right now with just what Broken Ball has in hand, and you have 0 way of stopping any of these units next turn. Like you're just dead.
Yeah, like we have blowback in hand. Like if we top deck one more burn, it's just kind of yeah.
Oh, let me get more unit. Yeah, no. This is the problem with this matchup is that if you don't draw your, this is why I think I would have preferred leaving up Jin Nora because like sure they have better removal for your Nasus and other stuff, but Jin Nora is way slower. Like you're not like a hand against Jin Nora. We're not dying on turn 6.
But it's still.
I will say his options are not great, regardless of what happens. Like these decks that you're up against right now are not why you're bringing this lineup, and it's just unfortunate that it wound up getting to him. So now he's forced to play against these decks. And Z-Man is doing the best he can, but like unfortunately his hand did not have enough removal in it. He needed more Quietus, he needed more Soul Harvest, but I mean, he only has 2 Quietus and 2 Soul Harvest in his deck.
And he played 3 out of the 4 cards already.
Yeah, it's like he played 3 of those and a Forsaken Bakai. Like he played 4 and this Vygar. Like he played 4 of his early cards that cost 2 or less mana. He doesn't really have that many.
We're gonna see this blowback come down and honestly secure the win here.
Yeah. I mean, Sleep Panda's win condition now is that Simon falls asleep and then he gets to play a Castigate and then he just never draws any burn the rest of the game.
But it's not gonna happen because like Broken Ball is the player that's known to falling asleep. Simon never sleeps, man. He's always up.
Yeah, and also Simon's not even playing right now because this is Broken Ball.
Exactly. And that is going to be the first win for Broken Ball here.
Yeah.
Secured. He has to get 1 more to go on to quarterfinals here. Or not quarters, I'm sorry, semis. We are in quarters right now.
And he hasn't even dropped a game yet either. He is 5-0 on this run.
He's absolutely just sweeping up the competition right now.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he can get the full 6-0 here. I will say I think Ash probably has a better chance into Fistmere. I expect that we're going to see Ash this game instead. Like as you said, because like Brittle Steel, freezes, stuff like that. And there
we are.
Oh wait! I thought you said Jin Nora wasn't banned. Yeah, here's Jin Nora.
What? Hold on a second.
Nice graphic.
I am very confused.
I think we reused the graphic from last game. No, Fistmere is the ban here.
No, it is. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a Bandle Jin ban.
I mean, they're still playing it out, so it might just be something on our end. We'll have to see.
but it is going to be Bandlejan versus Ash Zombie.
Yeah, I will say double Rex in hand is looking pretty good for Broken Ball here. Oh, I don't know about playing that first.
Stay back.
So it's really awkward for Sleepy Panda here because he would love to glimpse one of these guys, but with all the pie tosses, you don't want to like glimpse into a pie toss, you know? All right, it's just gonna play a 4-mana 1/4. Of course, the value. Oh, but we see the Rhyme Touch Shaman here. Oh, this could just come down and start. Yeah, he's gonna play this and start farming up freezes. There's no answer to this in hand from Broken Ball. Even though he has the Lord Broadmane, he doesn't have another effect to go with it. And the Quietus is going to clean up this Nora here. Unfortunate for Broken Ball. I think he might have wanted to try and get the Avenging Messiah online. Or maybe he's like, you know what? I want this Nora to die and eat the Quietus, and now I have Avenging Messiah. Now you also can't really play Lord Broadmane, but maybe you don't have to.
He gets both of his portals right now.
Yeah, I was saying maybe you don't have to with this. And
it really sucks that we pulled out. We pulled out a 3/1 elusive ephemeral right now.
Yeah,
and we're never going to be able to evolve either.
Oh, go with Proximity Puff Cap. That is 3 damage this turn. Oh, goes for the Soul Harvest here to force out the deny.
I do like that, allowing us to keep our vengeance up for Broadmane or Jin, whatever it hits the board here. But we are going to be taking a lot of damage this turn.
Or we're not. Because we want to block with our 3/4. Rhyme Touch Shaman. I think we're probably not blocking with Rhyme Touch Shaman. I think we're happy with this trade. And then if they go for the Proximity Puff Cap post combat, then we get to glimpse, and that's gonna be really good for us if we want a glimpse. I do presume we're gonna see a Proximity Puff Cap here. I think it's just too good in the spot. Oh, we're not gonna see it here. Oh, Jin's quite
with
good.
Another portal now. Pulling Vagabond, which is absolutely a huge pull right now. Yep. Just getting a 3/3 on the board with Broadmane as well.
Not going for the glimpse. It also makes our attacks super bad now. Yeah, for CB Panda, because now they just block with Broadmane and kill it.
I wonder if it was correct to take the Shaman off the board right now.
I mean, he didn't. He doesn't. It's gonna be 2 cards to do that.
No,
so,
I mean, technically yes, but like we were always dropping Broadmane that turn.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, now we're in really good shape. Yeah, now we're in very good shape for Broken Ball, and he just like plays Broadmane this turn. Next turn he plays the Ping spell and then plays Rex, and I don't see how C-Pan is really getting back into this one.
Yeah, it's really rough, but we do have a leveled Ash on the board right now.
We do. Oh.
But the question is for how long?
Yeah. Well, I will say, if Broken Ball plays Jin here, he does die to a Vengeance.
Wait, actually, Ash can... No, Ash still doesn't stay on the board even if we Vengeance the Broadbane right now. Because our proximity...
I mean, here's the thing. If we... Oh, you know what? What if we just played Rex this turn?
Yeah, what if we fill up the stack and just let Panda not do anything? That's also a good line, too.
I will say, though, next turn, Panda gets to play Harrowing. And this Rhyme to Shaman didn't die, either.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. A lot of these cannon barrages are actually going straight to the face right now.
Yeah. So, we actually might not have that many. Oh wait, Ash lived too.
Yeah, but Ash is not staying on the board very long. We're gonna hit it with either drop the bomb or proximity puff cap. I assume we're just gonna hit our proximity puff cap right now.
I would actually assume we wait. So that way Ash isn't in the pool for harrowing.
That's if we think that Ash is like he had Broken Ball has a read of harrowing.
I mean, the other reason is we don't want to play it is because depending on the Jhin, how Jhin is going to be, we could go proximity puff cap, drop the bomb, second Rex next turn, which will most likely be lethal.
That is true.
I will say this herring is going to be pretty big though. Like those wolves will be like 7/4s, and if he's not able to block, he will die.
The frost reveals all to me.
We do top deck a Drunk Construct here. Not really something you want to see. It's going to be nice to. It's not going to really do anything for us with now that we have Enchanted Crystal Arrow on top.
Yeah.
Like, we have to get this Ash off the board right now.
There's no way to do it at fast speed, but we do have good ways to do it at slow speed.
Yeah, we're never doing it at fast speed because we have to play Enchanted Crystal Arrow here in order to put in some real damage.
Yeah. So now the question is Broken Ball kill the Ash?
He has to.
If he kills the Ash, it's actually really good for his Panda because then Ash is going to come back undamaged and then she can't actually die. And then she'll be able to pull something. The thing is though, like, even if this Ash gets removed, you're going to have 3 9/4 overwhelms.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to play a slow speed spell to kill Ash. And you're not doing anything on this action. Oh,
that is a lot. Actually, we
can't do this because he does not push lethal.
No, he actually can push lethal here because we play Harsh Winds.
Oh, true. And that actually is lethal because there's no fast speed interaction at all in the hand of Broken Ball. He's gonna go for the harrowing. Okay.
Which is still fine.
Yeah, this is still fine. I mean, I think Broken Ball is actually cooked here because like the 9/4.
Actually, if we go for the harrowing here, it does allow for Broken Ball to develop blockers and still live.
Not really, because Ash will still be on the field, so he only gets 1.
No, we can take Ash off the field now.
Yeah, but you take Ash off the field, but you don't get to set up any other blockers. Oh wait, he only gets 1 wolf. Oh, that's so bad for him. I thought he was getting 3. Oh, that's so bad that he only gets 1. Yeah, he's not able to push lethal now for sure.
Unify the tribes.
So we're only pushing 25 right now, but after blocks we're pushing what, 10?
Yeah, but now he's not gonna push lethal, and the next turn we get Rex, and that's just game. Broken Ball's gonna do it. Oh, Matt's Sleep Panda's gonna be really sad knowing that if he went for the Harsh Winds line, he actually was winning the game.
Yeah, it's.
But to be fair, it's like there's a broad main in play, and you have 2 damaged units. Any fast spell that targets would have stopped it because you would have had to commit Harsh Winds pre-combat, so you would not have Vengeance open for like things like to like Vengeance the broad main in response. Like you had to Harsh Winds. Because obviously what the idea there is like, okay, we attack, we freeze, and then they go for actually no, I don't think anything else would have worked.
So we're not actually. Yes, we are, because Jhin is flipped. Never mind.
Yeah, no. And there's no fast speed, there's no damage outside of combat for the Ash deck, so extra cool that we're at that you put your opponent to 2 HP, but opponent's not dead, and this is lethal. So with that, Broken Ball gonna bleed BBBSSS to a 3-1 victory over PCP on his back as he goes 6-0 in games here. Yeah, like 3-0 on Jinx, 2-0 on Jinx Mirror, and then show it off that, hey, you know what? I brought this deck for a reason. I'm gonna show it off. Yeah.
And that's still exactly, it's all on the board now.
Yep. And even this wasn't, there's a Rex, a Condense, and a Condense for a second Rex anyways, so. Yeah, not really much that could be done there. Like, obviously we know that the Harsh Winds line could have won him the game, but like with all the factors, like not knowing your opponent's hand, it's very difficult to know that that would work. And unfortunately for him, he just didn't have good pressure before the Rex turn, so he just kind of died.
Yeah, we are going to get an interview with Broken Ball, just waiting for him to give me the okay to drag him up here, and we'll get an interview going with him. But man, that Broken Ball just coming in and just like completely massively dominating, just
like
2-0 back to back to back.
Yeah, no, like after seeing Sari struggle a bit with his decks against Prism, I was worried about, okay, Broken Ball is like the same decks, I wonder how he's gonna do. And Broken Ball's like, I'm gonna be just fine, man, and then just proceeded to do just as well again the Jinx matchup and then do absolutely insane with the Samira Fizz matchup. So
yeah.
Okay, some of those games were pretty close. Like one of those games, he did have the top deck burn to get the lethal on the stack, and then he didn't find the healing. And speaking of the man, here he is, Broken Ball. Hello.
What's up? What am I?
Broken Ball, I'm happy to see that you're awake today. How are you doing, my guy?
I don't know, doing fine. Just had to play a bit of LOR today, unfortunately, instead of sleeping.
How does it feel just completely coming in with literally almost the exact same lineup as Sari and just completely sweeping 2-0 back to back to back?
I mean, that's like literally my team is being dumb. Like I'm building my lineup. Sari says his lineup or some bullshit. He says he's gonna play Seraphine. I say sure. I make my lineup. I kind of forget I don't know how to play Samira Fizz. I get Simon to coach me. Sari comes in and he says he's playing Samira now instead of Seraphine, and complains that he's not in the mood anymore to play Seraphine. So we end up on the same lineup basically. Like that's literally my team being like we don't prep, and when we don't prep, this happens. Like, this team sucks.
This is what happens when Bodge is in jail, you know.
Hopefully stays there. Like prep was a lot more chill without him. I was about to bring Jax Varus, but Bodge said no.
So,
but Varus Fragile, Varus Hoodie, I meant.
I want to point out to you, Broken Ball, that that last game, Panda had lethal. If he disrespected any fast speed interaction, he was holding on to Harsh Winds. If he ripped the Harsh Winds, that would have gone to a game 2.
I imagine, but I don't know. He respects the goat that I am, so he just beat the bait. Yeah. I respect that. I'm a trafficking player, you know.
So we don't have any of the match. Actually, we do have your matchup for next week. You are going against Aphrodite Esports Alpha. How do you feel about that?
Is that the one with Luna or the one without?
That's the one without Luna.
Free win. Like I don't even know who is on the team.
On that team, you have Tunnel Shark, you have GZ, Never Walk Alone, and Freeze Bomb.
I know one of those 3 is Europe, so it might be harder than I expected, but easy win anyway.
They did also 3-0 their match against ABG Bandle, so you know they did suffer one less loss than you guys.
I have no idea who is on ABG Bandle either. But next week should be a lot easier because Sari won't play and he can actually sleep. The guy is old.
Isn't Simon the oldest person on the team though?
No, Sari is 40.
Sari is 40?
Yeah.
Oh jeez. Next thing you're gonna tell me is he's bald.
No, he's not bald. But he actually has one thing going for him in his life. Low roll country, but at least has good air genetics.
Alright, do you have any questions for Broken Ball, Dragon?
No, I don't think I really do. I'm just like, how do you feel about? Actually, I do have one. How do you feel about going 6-0 undefeated in this run?
I have no idea which god was watching over my Samira Fizz hands, but I thank him for the 6-0. Because I
Yeah.
don't think any of my Samira Fizz hands were illegal.
Yeah, your game one, your first set against Prism Sword was absolutely illegal. Game 1, you just top deck lethal with topping a Mystic shot. Game 2, you top deck lethal by getting a stylish shot.
I mean, the Mystic shot was deserved. Like, this guy drew the Cosmic Doggo every game. Like, what is this? That's a chew-off. That's actually illegal. But the Samira Fizz hands were actually undeserved as fuck. I have no idea what was going on there. Like, the guy got lethal on turn 5.
Yeah, I was not close.
For no reason.
So,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
which team are you guys afraid of going against the most in this bracket so far?
I don't know who's on the bracket, to be honest, and like no one. I think the one I was most afraid of is RPG, because they have Ash. And like there's no one that knows me and Simon more than Ash, probably. So that guy can like read our souls. But other than that, like no one is really threatening.
And I mean, we'll say RPG did win their set against Aphrodite Esports Beta 3-0.
Wait, Luna
Yeah.
lost?
Yeah.
Luna lost, yes.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
1U goes down.
So we're waiting on the last match to finish up right now, but right now the last match is Breaking Bandle 2-1 over Tron.
Yep. Have to see if the special prize comes back to bite Tron a little bit here.
Yeah. But with that, Broken Ball, do you have any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
I guess shout out sorry for the Simon for the last minute coaching on Samira Fizz. I don't think it was needed given what happened, but whatever. I think I could have won with this sense if I had never touched Fizz Samira.
Oh, and the last, literally as we were talking, the final score came in. Breaking Bandle 3-0 Tron. So in our semifinals, you have Red Pub Games taking on Breaking Bandle. You have Aphrodite Esports Alpha taking on our reigning champs, BBBSSS. Too many consonants. All right.
You can remove an S from that one. Sorry, it's not on the team anymore.
Well, that's toxic.
No.
Can we just go back to REO? Can you guys just be known as REO? It's so easy. It's just easy.
That would imply Baj is in REO.
Are you saying Baj is not in REO?
Absolutely not. He thinks he's on REO, but he isn't.
Is REO a team though? That's the real question.
REO is
No.
technically a team.
It's a group of people.
I mean, it is a team because you guys submitted REO in our EMEA league.
That was on Terraxalt once.
All right. Any final questions from you, Dragon?
Nope, I'm good to let Broken Ball pass out and go to sleep.
I'm the GOAT. Let's go.
Any final remarks, Broken Ball?
I'm the GOAT.
Any final remarks, Dragon?
No.
All right. With that, thank you guys for watching. I've been Hirsch. I've been joined by Dragon. I'm also joined by B-Ball for the winner, the man, the myth, the legend, completely sweeping 3-0, showing that as I said before, the first two B's in BBB is Broken Ball. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe, stay blessed. We'll see you next week for semifinals.
Bye-bye.
Every time I touch mic.